Oshikiri, I am committee. And also on the committee, we have Erica Olson. We have new member Laura Deltice. She is a public member. And we have Brian Pate. We have a new member on the committee, Paul McKay, and Katie Bordenaro. So everybody that's here should make sure that you have signed in the back, have you done? So you need to sign in the back. And any members from the public that wish to speak on an application, please fill out a speaker card and hand it to me up here. And I think that will do it. So the first, okay, so how this works is I call on an application. There are agendas in the back. The applicants come up. There are two microphones up here that may need to be turned on. The one on the stand you can raise and lower. Use the microphones, present your application to the committee. Once the applicant is done, we will ask questions, and then we will go to the public for any comments. Once that's done, then the applicant can address the committee regarding any of those comments. We ask that everybody speak respectfully about the applications, to us, to each other. And I think that's it. We just need to make sure that we use the microphones, and you need to really hold it up next to you. Okay, the printouts of the agenda in the back. I am taking things pretty much in order until we get to section E. Airmail 546 Hudson Street, which was a corporate change. Item D1 is their appearance is waived, and Lama Song. It's a re-notification from February 2025 for sidewalk seating E6. That one has also been waived. Okay, so that's it. So the first one is going to be Oshikiri Inc. doing business as Menkoi Sao at 7 Cornelia Street.
I'm waiting for the lawyer's blood.
Okay, so
Yeah, I just got texted.
we'll skip that. We'll come back to you. All right, so then the next one will be Arova LLC, doing business as Arova at 668 Reynolds Street. This is a tavern wine license in a previously unlicensed location.
Is it the same as you said? Yes, the same. This is B2 midline.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, this is B2. I'm okay.
Okay.
I thought the wrong one there. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, good evening. My name is Lisa, and I'm with.
Please speak into the microphone.
yes.
So it gets recorded.
Okay.
You're a little.
Oh, that one is that.
No.
Pull it out. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so yes, so this is for Arova, at 668 Greenwich Street. This is between Christopher Street and Broome Street. We're applying for a tavern wine. At a coffee and wine bar. I'll let Mike explain the operation a bit later, but the details are in the packet, which is about a 1,090 square foot space, gonna occupy the ground floor. There's one restroom. There will be about 9 tables, 27 seats, 1 customer bar, and then 5 seats at the bar. He's seeking the hours of 7 a.m. to midnight. There will be background music only, and no outdoor space. And yes, we're open. Mike will speak more on the operation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mike. And I'll be opening Arova LLC in 668 Greenwich. It's pretty simple. It's more for the neighborhood. I'll be doing a wine bar at night and then cafe in the morning. In the morning, it will be a straight coffee for the area. I realized that the area needs a coffee place and a wine bar for the building and the people. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. I don't do very well with big meetings.
Talk to us.
Yes.
Do me one favor. You're Mike. What is your last name?
Shihab.
And,
My first name, my original name is Mohana.
okay, so
Yeah.
you're the principal that's
Right,
listed on here. Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Keep
so yeah, that's my first project. I'm super excited. I've worked at Chef's Table at Brooklyn Fair Restaurant. It's a 3 Michelin star restaurant. I've ran the place for about 8 years. family owned, and finally I'm doing my. My own thing on my own, and yeah, I'm super excited for the community to meet the neighborhood people and try to connect in a different way.
Okay. See, okay, okay, so there's no TVs.
No.
Private parties, I think like 6 a year or something.
I prefer not to do any private parties.
Okay.
It's more for the building.
Okay,
If someone comes down and says, hey, can I buy out the place for a few hours, I'm willing to do it.
yeah, no, we need something
Exceptions.
for the whole night, so
Right,
really this development, okay, and then, are you going to soundproof it? The space at all?
it's already some,
It is soundproof.
it's already some.
Okay.
There
Check.
won't be any loud music. I want things to be very classy, very elegant. I won't be.
Yeah, it's never been a restaurant before, is what, so
No.
you're gonna have people in there and just to make sure that sound
Yeah,
isn't
no, I
what's
have,
different.
sure, I have panels all over the walls,
Okay,
so there will be no noise, and I'm replacing the doors with soundproof doors.
okay,
Yeah.
all right, and, there's a rear door in the
In the
back.
back door.
Is that an alarmed door? So
It's a wheelchair access door,
Okay,
and
all right, so,
I'm gonna keep it open.
so where does it go to then, in the back? Does it go
It goes through the building, into the lobby of the building.
into the lobby of the building?
Right.
Okay, so that's okay, okay. And then their certificate of occupancy, is that going to be updated or changed, or because it was a cleaners before, it's not broken down by those small storefronts, I don't know. If it, yes,
It accounts for the eating and drinking restaurant for floor. First floor.
yeah, so there's something there, but it's not, it's for the whole first floor, I guess, because it's.
Yeah, so you would want to get the amended to specify.
I think there should be like a letter of no objection or some for that space, I think. Because it's all, it lists something like 100 or 200 and something people, and that's not what you're doing in that, that's just one part of it, so. I think you should do that, say something like that in the stipulations, you'll get that in order before you open. I think that's it for my questions, does anybody on the committee have anything, Katie?
So I think you have a typo in your Wednesday hours
Yes.
that you should correct. You're saying on Wednesday you're gonna be open till 2 AM. I think you mean
No.
12.
Right, yes,
Okay, so you can correct that.
okay.
And I didn't see any menu for the day, for the morning. I mean, you say coffee, but are you going to have pastries? Are you gonna? have
Right, so
breakfast?
yeah, in the morning is more like pastries and like, both sandwiches. And we're still working on it, but what I come up with is more like croissants and cheeses and stuff like that in the morning. And once I go in and I hire the right chef, I'll figure out exactly what the menu will be 100%. But as for now, I wanna do just a little sandwiches, quick bites. I don't have a hood or a kitchen. I do have a small prep area, this will be I have a showcase also as well.
So you'll have something for
Right.
breakfast, it'll be
Yes,
an
yes.
all day cafe and then the lighter bites at night and.
Although I have two more questions. And I was a little surprised that you said you wanted to be an early evening wine bar. And yet you're open till midnight. Early evening wine service establishment.
Well, the whole idea is from 7 to 4 or 8 to 4 will be a cafe. I'll be shutting down for 20-30 minutes, clean up the place, and then open for wine bar. For the wine bar hours, I'm going to do a class for the community where I can teach them about the wines, about cheeses, what I've learned over the past 10 years. I wanna provide it to my customers. I try to impress them for it.
So will you be selling tickets for that, or is that just?
Honestly, this is my first business. I've never done anything like this before. But most likely it will be tickets, yes.
Okay, so I need to know that, so I don't put something in the stipulations that. Would preclude you from, doing.
And then you'd also note that that would be midnight, so everybody's gone by that.
Right, yeah, our closing times are like if it's whatever time it's closing,
Close.
everybody out, okay.
But I did have another observation. you are directly across the street from an entrance to the school. I don't know how often they use it now, but they have had plans to use it in the past, at least an emergency exit. But I don't think that you understand that there's a school directly across the street, so I want to be sure that you're aware of that, and that we're aware of that too.
So where is it?
There's a door, which is a gym of St. Luke's, right across the street. And at one point, when the school came to us, when they put the addition on right there, they were going to use that as an entrance to, an auditorium, that they might turn the gym into an auditorium. So I'm just pointing out,
Okay, okay,
it wasn't clear in your comments that you knew how close the school is.
okay. All right, anybody else have anything? Is there anybody? Yes, no, is anybody here from the public on this application? Okay. So we'll send you stipulations and, okay,
Thanks.
so you made it through. Thanks. Okay, the next one is going to be he's here, right? Yep, Oshikiri doing business as Menkoi South, 7 Cornelia Street. And we've been joined by another committee member, Carter Booth.
Good evening, my name is Frank Lillo, how are you? I do, there was no change at all, but we will.
Thank you.
Thanks. Wait. It's Bruce. I don't know, change at all.
Yeah, but I don't do it.
C3.
Could you?
It's B1, I think.
Yeah, be one. Bingo.
For the record, Erica, I did this on every application on SLA one.
Good evening, my name is Frank Lillo, and I have with me
Oshikiri.
one of the most straightforward applications and low impact applications I think I may have ever done. No outdoor area. Closing at 11:30 on the weekends, 10:30 during the week. It's a ramen and noodle shop, would be happy to answer any questions you have. It replaces an existing ramen and noodle shop that also had a licensed location.
Okay,
There's not a lot of surprises, but I tried, I just couldn't fit anything in.
well, no.
Go ahead, you found
Yeah, I
it.
did. Yeah, I did.
What was I thinking?
4 tables, 24 seats, 1 bar, 8 seats. I get, for 3, I have 39 seats. I have 12 seats at the kind of food counter bars. So that's the 12, and then the 3 at the bench in the window, and then the 24 are at the
12 at
tables.
the bar,
12 at the bar,
4 at the little counter.
3 at the little counter.
4. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the bar. There's not 4 of us, 8 at the bar, right?
No, there's 12 at the bar.
Oh, so there, 4, 8.
And then there's 3, you have a 3 where it says bench by the window, so I'm assuming that means 3.
Yeah, but that's a sit for a week.
No, I know, I'm just, but it's the number of people that are in there, right?
Yes.
But, okay, and then, so,
We're not serving.
no, I'm just saying it's 39 people or it's 36 people. And we did get an email that are you open now, or is it? You are open
Are
now.
you doing it or is it private? Considered?
Hmm?
Who's operating, you? Or the owner of the private? Yeah.
Okay, so I do have an email saying that there are a few tables with stools outside. No. Not anymore, because I sent a picture with the table and chair, so there shouldn't be any no tables, no chairs, no benches, nothing outside. If you wanna do that, you need to apply to do that, so if you are doing that, just remove it. I don't know, I have a picture, maybe it was, I'm just going by what I was told. And then how. The food is downstairs, is kept downstairs, is there food storage downstairs?
There's storage downstairs, I'm sure there'll be dry goods storage down there.
Okay, so the reason I'm just asking this is because if I understand correctly. You enter to go downstairs through the hallway of the building, is that correct?
From where, the first floor?
Yeah, that's what I'm not sure. Because there's this another entrance, I think, over on the side of, there's one entrance that goes into the front of the restaurant, and then there's an entryway to the hallway, and there's a little door there.
It looks like it's X12, it's not part of the premises, I do see that.
And so, and I'm saying this because access to the basement space is through the building and is below the space on the first floor, so that's why I'm asking this question, is food being carried up through the hall into the restaurant, because that doesn't seem appropriate if that's happening.
The kitchen on the first floor.
Okay, so that's why I'm asking where the food is
No.
stored, because it can't be coming through the residential hallway, and that's what this note is saying. That's why I'm asking the question.
Well,
Right.
food won't.
Okay,
There's a kitchen on the first floor, maybe.
okay. And it says the freezers are downstairs,
Yeah,
so that means food is coming upstairs
uncooked food will be coming upstairs, yes.
through the residential hallway,
I think that's the way it's always been, Don, I can't,
but that doesn't mean it's okay.
no, I didn't say it was. I think it, from the basement to the first floor. You go through the common hallway. There's a way to go downstairs from the street. Is it through a common hallway? Does it go straight to the basement, or does it have to go through a hallway? She said it goes straight to the basement. Straight to the basement
From,
the street.
Just show down there.
yeah, can you,
Looking at the. You sure where
Do
the.
you mind if I take a look?
yeah,
Let's go take a look.
Yes. oh,
You see the hutch?
oh, so
Yes,
that
yes,
all the way
yes,
down
yes,
here goes
yes.
down to there, gotcha, okay, that's right. Yeah, yeah, your exercise bringing the food up and down, okay, so, basement, okay, I think. That does it for my questions, does anybody on the committee have anything? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
In the plans to address vehicular traffic and crowd control. You said there's an attached plan, or is it just the sentence?
Just that sentence.
Okay.
Just trying to figure
Not
out.
for this one, not for this one.
Thank you.
Katie, did you have something?
Yeah. So I'm on your website to see your menu, but you didn't put the menu in the packet. And so what is the average check for your, diners? How much is the
How
average?
much is the menu is in the.
I didn't see it online. Okay, is it this one? Okay, good.
It looks
So,
like the average check is somewhere between $15 and $20.
okay, it wasn't in the online version that I had. Thank you.
It was submitted with them.
It doesn't necessarily differ, it's,
Yeah, okay, and and again, how is the residential area separated from the business in the basement? Not how do you get up and down, but is there a door from the storage area into the residential area in the basement?
No.
No, is the storage area directly under the restaurant or to the side?
Looks like it's inside. Well, we saw, it looks like it's the side.
well. The plans say that. It's that the space. Is below the space on the first floor. That's what the plans say, so I'm assuming. There's some hallway or something down there.
There's no access from this basement to any residential hallway. I'm looking at it.
Okay, well. And this,
Okay, so the basement area then is not under,
I don't think it's direct.
because I don't see stairs. And I mean, this looks like there's a door and not stairs from a hatch, you know what I'm saying, so it's a little still confusing. We're still confused, right?
it says in the
I know
questionnaire,
what it says.
access to basement is through the
Right, the plan.
It's through the common hallway.
Right.
So
Nothing.
I want you to explain.
Nothing. Okay, how do you get, what's your question, Pete?
How do you get from that hatch? I'm assuming the hatch goes downstairs. How do you get from that, does
Okay.
the hatch that is
Yes.
looking out,
Open hatch,
in the
and
side?
there's a stair.
Yeah.
and, like, you use the stair to go down and then get the basement.
And when you're in the basement,
Yeah.
is your area right where the hatch is? Or do you need to walk?
Yeah, a little word, yes.
So who else has access to that area that you walk in to get to your storage area?
Super.
Do any of the residents have access to that?
No, I mean.
There's no residential access.
No, there's no.
She was the manager of the existing place.
Okay,
It's not brand new.
okay, okay. Okay, Katie,
Yeah, that's good.
okay. Anybody else? We good? Anybody from the public on this one? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay. The next application is going to be the 14 Group LLC doing business as Casse Cou, 244 West 14th Street. This is an on-premise for restaurant. It's items and three. Everybody who just came in, please, sign in on the sign-in sheet, fill out a speaker card if you wish to speak on an application and hand it to me up here. Yes. Paul McVeigh is on the committee, where Rexus is a public matter.
There's some negative things.
Yeah.
Nothing major.
You have to forgive my lack of jacket, but it's, and I guess for some reason. Thank you. Good evening, CB2, Max Bookman, Zetsky and Bookman PC. I'm an attorney. With me is Amanda Orso, founder and principal of the 14 Group. This is a transfer of an on-premises license for Dre's. So Dre's is on 14th Street between 7th and 8th Avenues, south side, of course, the really north side, what you see before. This location has a history of on-premises licenses from roughly 1986 onward. It was Neil's, which was a 4 a.m. nightclub. That went through a few different names. Darby, there's a place called Up and Down, was a nightclub till 2020-ish, I believe. It's currently Dre's Supper Club. Dre's Supper Club is not a nightclub. It is a more of a French restaurant and lounge design. And Dre's has been in front of you before, including as recently as last year, and you did a lot of work on stipulations with them to lock them in. I don't mean it pejoratively, but to lock them into the concept that they were proposing to you, to ensure that it wasn't a nightclub concept. And I have a copy of their slips, which are done. You've looked at it. Amanda's concept is nearly identical to Dre's. The difference will be in the execution of the concept. So, Amanda's greatest strength that she's drawn from her career is her ability to competently execute complicated, detail-oriented processes, including food and beverage processes. She's extremely detail-oriented. She coordinates high-profile events. She helped produce Super Bowl 45, which is a gargantuan logistics effort. She designs weddings and other celebrations for celebrities and other individuals where every detail matters. She's got a great Instagram that shows the work that she does. She's been featured in various publications for her work and her attention to that level of detail. She's bringing on a team of experienced advisors. She's consulting with LDV Hospitality, which is John Meadows. We have a little bit of it in the background materials at the end of our package. If you're not familiar, She has a veteran hospitality consulting firm with her as well. These are long-term contracts that she has in place for with these advisors, so they're not just for the opening, but for the, to assist her in the long run of the business. So as I said, she's not looking to return it to a nightclub like it was for so many years. We are happy to take the existing steps that you worked, in such detail on with Dre's. It's a similar contemporary French concept. Amanda believes that concept can absolutely work here. Again, we believe without disparaging anybody else, we believe that the problem with Dre's has not been the concept, but the execution of it. She's done very good outreach, and we summarized it in great detail in the package. I should just note there's no outdoor seating here, which is of course consistent with Dre's stipulation. So we hope you will approve this transfer. And we're happy to answer any questions.
Okay, I do have a question. The upstairs is going to be a restaurant.
That's right.
Mostly reservation or not?
Yes,
Primarily
reservation.
reservation,
Yeah,
okay,
electronic reservation system.
okay. And then the downstairs with for meeting your materials is more private event space,
Yeah, let's
corporate events, weddings.
let's talk about downstairs, because of course we want to. So the downstairs, if we're fortunate enough, will be overflow seating, for the upstairs. And so if we're lucky enough to need overflow seating. But its primary use will be for events. Amanda sees opportunity here, given her background. She thinks that the downstairs could be much better positioned for private events than it has been in the past. And so that's what we see the primary use of the downstairs for.
Okay.
Same concept, no two concepts under one umbrella kind of thing. Same operation, but events. So the way
Okay, so it's like your event space of the
yes,
rest.
exactly. It's like you want to book an event at 14. We have a great downstairs.
Okay, so that will then lead me to my next question, because the Dre's, which was another iteration before it was Dre's with some of the same principles, we're hoping that if it was sort of event, but it was also an overspill for the restaurant, maybe it would be the restaurant, so bottom line is they agreed to 24 private parties a year. How does that stipulation impact
Yeah.
this plan? Because it seems to me you have a plan to have more events there.
Well, I'm glad you raised that, Donna, because my interpretation of that was what you always say, which is that when you talk about private parties, you talk about full buyouts of the entire premises. So I personally didn't
Okay.
interpret that to mean
Just the
to be
downstairs.
downstairs, where you
Okay.
always,
Right, yeah,
have that.
Okay. All right. okay. So that then still works because
As long as you agree that,
you're going to be using the events. Will mostly be just the downstairs part, not the whole.
yeah, no, that's right. As long as you're interpreting that,
Right,
that
right,
language the
for
way
the
you
whole
always
space,
do,
right,
then
yeah,
yes.
Not change. Okay. Okay, and then. It has been soundproof, they did do a good job. Have you checked the soundproofing? One of the stipulations was to work with the resident, we have people here to speak on it, so.
Yeah, so I mean, so we did get feedback from a member of the community named Stephanie. I don't know if she's here tonight.
Here, she'll speak.
Speak for her. She'll get full opportunity to speak. Amanda emailed her today after receiving an email from her yesterday. I'll let her address it,
Okay.
but the point I just want to make is it is soundproofed. We heard feedback that maybe it wasn't being observed well. There were certain aspects of the soundproofing have not been working, and that's something that we want to.
So maybe what I'll do is let the public speak,
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
then you can come back up, so.
Yes.
Before I do that, does anybody on the committee have any questions before I go to the public forum?
You mentioned a couple of times you were changing the execution. What does that mean exactly?
It's my diplomatic way of saying that we're gonna run this place better than the current operators are. Amanda knows how to run detail-oriented operations. We believe that for various reasons that's been lacking with the current operators. So again, we don't think it's an issue with the concept. We just think that we need to get someone in there who could more vigorously, execute on the
Okay.
concept.
Cause every single detail seems to be the same between this concept and Dre's.
No, that's right. And the point is that from a stipulation perspective, from a liquor licensing, but consider community board perspective, the parameters that this community board has put around this business, we find acceptable. So in terms of those details, we find it acceptable. But in terms of the nuts and bolts of actually running a restaurant and making sure the deliveries are there on time and making sure that the staff is adequately trained and supervised, et cetera, that the event space is adequately promoted, that's where we think the difference will lie.
Okay, got it. And then I saw in here that there is a DJ.
That's correct. There was a stipulation, I mean, there was always a DJ in this space back in the nightclub days, obviously, that the use of the DJ was then limited through an agreement between this community board and the prior operator. And we are willing to take on that same agreement.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome.
You're keeping the music on the first floor.
And it's exactly how you.
It's the same, it's acoustic.
We'll play background music at conversational
Yep, yep,
levels
yep.
only and have live acoustic music, I mean, the truth is that, if one day, we understand there may be a lack of trust at the moment, she's new to you, et cetera, I mean,
I think the biggest thing is the lack of trust is because the space is really designed for a nightclub downstairs. So what we don't want is somebody saying that what they are doing is what they want to do. And I'd rather address it as a nightclub if it's going to be a nightclub, so we have the proper stipulations in place for whatever the method of operation is going to be and not find out that it's something different. I think that really is the larger concern.
I appreciate you saying that, and to be clear, there is no proposal for a nightclub downstairs.
The thing that was missing last time we talked about is the whole back end wasn't adequate as counted. And I think that's what the residents keep saying, they're hearing stuff like that. So every time the concept changes, nobody's putting in the work to address the rear of the space, which is where the sound is at. And so that just seems to be the problem, maybe not so much what's happening inside. So that's the repetitive situation that keeps being created, whatever that is. And I'm not saying it's an easy fix or anything, I'm just saying that that's the part that keeps bringing up the issue. It's not, and that's why it's limiting the inside. I don't know if that needs to be, just to fix the sound leakage problem. And I don't know, I'm not familiar with space, but that's what it's every time, we've heard this.
Yeah, and that's an interesting perspective, Carter. What I can say to that is, the soundproofing issue was brought to our attention basically yesterday. We've tried to make efforts at outreach. The first time we heard about the soundproofing issue was yesterday. So we don't have a sound study for you or something like that. We basically assumed based on the STIPs that the soundproofing was good enough. We want to hear the community feedback about the soundproofing. I just heard what you said, Carter. That's interesting. I think we will need to see what additional work we could do on the soundproofing.
Is the issue with the soundproof in the back, is it from like doors opening and boys bringing trash out and stuff, or?
Well, I think we may need to hear from the
Yeah,
public on that.
why don't we go to the public and hear from them what they say the issues or lack of issues are, and then we can come back in it.
Thank you.
Okay, public, come on up. So I have William Hoffman, Suzanne Bronson, and Stephanie Pappas. The rest, if you want to speak, you could come on up, so just to save the. Okay, all right, go ahead, Stephanie.
Hi there, I'm Stephanie, and I've lived 3 doors down for the last 20 years, so I've seen a variety of iterations there. And I would not say that Dre's has caused any sound issues. It was just towards the end of Up and Down's tenure that it felt that they were lax, and when we never heard sound, now we were starting to hear sound, which only led me to think that people were going out, and I don't think they have a large backyard, it's very tiny, but people were going out, opening a door, opening a window, so then things bled through. So all I'm here to do is just to make sure we don't hear any sound. That's it, that's all I care about. The other thing in terms of, I did bring up the dancing situation is because if you go on downstairs at Dre's, Instagram. And you look at the party pictures, there's DJs and there's people dancing down there. So I'm like, okay, I actually don't care, but just say you're gonna do that. That's really what I meant by the transparency. But I appreciate Amanda's response. It was
We
great.
have each other's contact
We
information.
do,
and
and so I'm asking that if there's ever an issue. If
Yeah.
there's ever an issue that I hear something in the back and I'm not sure, if I can just contact them and say, hey. Maybe so there's an issue going on, so that's really all I'd like.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody else want to speak or will you do covered? We're covered? Okay, okay, thanks.
So on the transparency issue, we appreciate what Stephanie had to say, they already have their contact information, you know, look, two things on the transparency, one. There is no goal to open a nightclub down here, we're not saying that. It's interesting what you said about dancing, I mean, you know, we said we'll take the
If you're doing
same
weddings, you
steps.
might want.
And this is often an issue, it's become, it used to be reflexive because of the zoning restrictions concerning dancing, the need for a DCA cabaret license, as we all know. The city of New York has been moving to make dancing more widely available, it's the state liquor license process where it still gets hashed out. You know, if there's comfort enough with the operation and trust to have dancing downstairs during private functions, we would certainly welcome that. If not, we will abide by the existing steps.
Okay, and then just the other thing I asked is, we do sound testing, I'd ask you to do sound testing before you open.
That's a fair step.
And coordinate it with, you have at least Stephanie's email address to coordinate it with some of the residents, just to see if there's any.
Sometimes the residents will let us into their unit to do sound
That's what,
testing.
yeah,
There's-
because it's like Carter
limits
said,
to
it's
do that, then.
it's that back area and keeping that door closed and then solve it, and then we don't. Then, and the only other thing I'm just gonna say is because you mentioned celebrity parties. Ubers, no, this is
Just
the
be clear.
problem, there's well.
She doesn't celebrity
I think
parties, she does
some-
weddings for celebrities.
Right, well, that's still the same, you know, I looked up some of the background information and some very high profile people go to some of those places, so they may come along over. Here to 14th Street, you've got a bus right in front of you, if the bus isn't there, I guess the Ubers can pull over, but just, you know, the traffic situation, maybe point people to
Yeah, so look, we.
Eighth Avenue, you've got the subway, but I doubt most of the clientele will not be coming.
So look, we took a swing at addressing that, it's, you know, I'm not sure. What the view on the bus lane is in this community board, but it's there.
It's there.
And we understand that, so we will do our best to deal with that. I hear you, Donna, and again, just in the spirit of transparency, if someone comes in a car. Well, you know, and
Just
it
get them
plops
to-
in front of there, you know, we're gonna have to have efforts to move them away. But we are going to, with geo tagging, we are going to try to make it so that the Ubers don't drop off.
There, and then you have adequate room, I believe, inside to hold people if they're
Oh, yes.
waiting to.
Yes, yeah, no outdoor.
Right, so, because that was the other issue that. Passed by, did you have something?
I just was wondering if you would enunciate the name of the restaurant for us?
Oh, do that.
The 14?
Oh, well, so
Oh,
what is the
oh.
other French, you're gonna label it as 14 out in front?
No.
Casse Cou, is that what that you're asking me to enunciate?
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
Casse
cool,
Cou. Thank you.
okay. Okay,
Okay,
that does it,
thank you very much.
okay. Thank you, all right. So the next one is going to be Mitsuru and Reynolds, 4th Street LLC, doing business as Mitsuru, 149 West 4th Street. This is a class change, to an off-premise.
Just 1 minute, that's my case too.
We find out packets.
Does anything change?
This one, no. For a change. Good, okay. Six cases in front of me this month. I had three.
Oh, yeah,
last
you
week. I
did,
sent,
yeah.
sent my junior squad parents. And and through some. Okay, I'm ready.
Go right ahead.
Hey, good evening again, CB2, Max Bookman, Kozeski Bookman PC. With me is Mitsuru Tamura. He is the owner, chef, and is there every night. Supervisor, founder and principal of Mitsuru. This is a class change application from a restaurant wine license to an on-premises license. This is on West Fourth Street and Sixth Avenue. It's on West Fourth Street. It's on the north side of the street, about one storefront eastward in from Sixth Avenue. It's a beautiful sushi restaurant. We opened it in November 2024, and he really is there every night. In fact, the sushi counter is closed tonight because he's here. But maybe if we get out early enough, we can go back and open it. It's a small space, 24 seats, closed at midnight. They were open from the start that they want to apply for OP one day. There were discussions with stakeholders about that. There was a sort of trade that happened. They were proposing outdoor dining. They wanted a sidewalk cafe, and they also wanted a roadway cafe. There was deep opposition to the roadway cafe. Mitsuru gave up on the roadway cafe, which was seen by the neighbors, and I think some on this board as a gesture of good faith. We actually approved him in the steps for the very small sidewalk cafe, one table with two seats, but he chose not to go
So
forward
he's not,
to do that.
he's not doing
And
that.
he's not doing that, so we never applied to DOT for that, we don't intend to, so you could
Okay,
update
so
the
we
stip if
could-
you like. So no outdoor dining, and so we do hope that brought some goodwill, he liked full liquor. Why does he want full liquor? Not to open a full bar with shots or anything like that, but he wants to offer a few Japanese whiskeys. For those who don't know, whiskey is a very popular homemade beverage in Japan. A lot of good Japanese whiskey brands. It's not going to be just Japanese whiskey, so don't put that in the step. He wants to be some other stuff as well, but that's the main thrust of why he wants to offer it. He did outreach. I don't know if he's here, but we've got a text from Brian Maloney from the Village Neighborhood Action Group, who said he'd be reaching out to you to say.
We got a number of letters of support.
We're good, okay, and so we're happy to answer any questions.
I don't know that I haven't, nothing's changing with the tips that were there before. It's 12 to 12 and there's no TVs, it's background music, there's no operable doors or windows. You are not having the one table and two chairs outside, there is no roadbed. There's no, it's all our other typical steps, so I don't.
Yeah, if we are lucky enough to have your support, we would just think you would take that stip form and just change it to OG and take out the sidewalk cafe thing and everything else.
And Katie, did you have something?
Jeff, and what about the private party
24.
plan? 24?
Okay. That's what it says. So. No change, no change.
Does he have private party?
You understand what it's 20. Sometimes he does, he understood.
Yeah, okay, does anybody else on the committee have a?
Small space, very small.
Oh, very.
Is there anybody here from the public on this application? Okay, go open the restaurant.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Okay. So the next application is going to be Penmanship LLC doing business as Jeffrey's Grocery at 170 G Waverly Place.
But you don't order.
Huh?
But you don't order.
No, I said until I hit E.
That's how you said.
That's what I said. I said that. Oh, wait, no, I'm not doing that one yet. Wait, I am going in order.
Yeah.
Gastronaut, sorry, I skipped because I checked it off previously.
Robert's rules, you called us.
No.
Sorry, she didn't finish saying it, sorry.
Seconds, so there we go, my mistake. And then I'm not going in order, let's be clear after this one.
Hands things out. The gave you an actually, very, very sorry. But nothing else changed.
Other prices on? We still don't have that question, Max?
Whatever, private place.
No, I don't think so. No,
Want to ask about it, you know?
I,
I don't.
Good evening again, CB2, my name is Max Bookman, Pedestrian Bookman PC, with me is Roman Rakusa, he is the owner and founder of Gastronaut, with him and me is his partner Paulina Andrus. Before I get speaking, Roman just wants to say hello and pass out some photos.
Yep, good evening, everybody. I'm just so happy to be here. It's a great experience for me. And, thanks for the opportunity. And I'd like to present some photos of the food that we are going to do in this place.
As you'll hear me say momentarily, Roman's very proud of his food. When we were preparing for this meeting, he made sure to tell me that these photos are actual food that he's made, that he intends to serve here. This is not made on AI or some stock photo. He's very proud of his food and wants you to see that. So this is an application for a new on-premises restaurant license on West 10th Street. It's on the south side of West 10th, about one building in eastward from Bleecker. So west end of Bleecker, but on this time. The space is currently licensed with a beer and wine license, Sushi on Jones. What I could tell, Sushi on Jones got there in around 2019, and then in around 2022, they expanded into the neighboring storefronts. There was some two narrow storefronts, then it took the second one over, so it became a little bit bigger, and that's what they currently have. For many years before that, one of the storefronts was Westville, which I believe had a beer and wine license. A little bit about Roman. He is native to Russia. He's part of a family business in Russia with over 20 eating and drinking establishments in Russia. He's been involved in opening and operating each and every one of those. It's a diverse array of concepts. Some are bars, some are restaurants, some close early, some don't. He also has a wine boutique store there. He's got very deep wine knowledge. The American dream remains alive and well. He is moving to the US because he wants to embark on opening a restaurant in the United States. And where else to do your first restaurant in the US but New York? He's moving to the West Village. He's here now, looking for places to rent. And he will be here to run this business. He is stepping back from, as I said, it's a family business in Russia. He's stepping back from that. He has parents, he has siblings who are going to continue those businesses on. This is going to be his focus, and he's going to be here to do it. It's a non-traditional concept. So the cuisine that he wants to offer is Slavic cuisine. And even though I am a restaurant lawyer and I see all sorts of cuisines, it took me a minute to speak with him to understand the concept because it's really different. It really is unique. And so he lived in Japan for 2 years. And what he's looking to do is he's looking to bring a modern style of Slavic cuisine with Japanese culinary influences. Slavic cuisine is not well represented here, and when it is represented, it is mostly traditional Slavic cuisine, like tablecloth, kind of stuffy. He's looking to do something more modern and representing sort of more modern take on the food. He understands opening restaurants, how to do it from Russia, but since this is his first in New York, he's partnering with Paulina. She is partner in the business. Her focus is mostly going to be on the construction and permitting side, helping getting the business open. Outdoor space was originally a consideration. It made it into some of the outreach emails, but we're probably a little bit inconsistent on that point, frankly. We were looking into it, but on further consideration and hearing some feedback, we're not proposing outdoor seating here, no sidewalk, no roadway, full stop.
is that in your mind, you're never doing it? I know you don't want to nobody wants to stick to never, but is the plan to see how it goes and maybe look at it in a year, or is the plan that you don't have an intention to have it?
Yeah, so I see, Donna, there's always like 3 ways you can go on it. It's like, we don't have it now, but we definitely want it. We'll come back. the one end. On the other side of the spectrum is we promise we'll never ever ask you for it. And then something in the middle is we don't have any current plans for it. We don't think we want it, but we don't want to foreclose the option forever. And that's how we are on this.
Okay,
We're happy to answer any questions.
Paulina's background is, she's here.
She's here, she's a New Yorker, she lives here,
Okay.
she does a lot of construction management, permitting,
In New York City.
In New York City. yes.
Okay. So the hours are,
We are proposing 1 AM closing, Sunday to Wednesday, 2 AM Thursday to Sunday.
and opening at 4. Yeah, right,
Yes.
right, so it's just dinner, okay, and it's 8 tables and 16 seats and 3 at a window, is that correct? Or am I wrong with that?
You're right, let me see.
No.
Yeah.
12
tables,
at a
16
bar, and
seats.
12 at a bar,
Open bar.
right, okay, and no TVs, background music,
For 2Ds, it's background music only, no DJ, no dancing, no live music, no outdoor wait lines, none of the other stuff.
okay, and are we gonna get a letter of no objection for this, since we don't have anything since it was, since 2015, when it was,
That is a good question, Donna. Let me ask Pauline, 1 second. No. We have to look into the POV, approval status for the space.
okay, so that should be
Landlord's here.
something
Well, we may be able to tell you
okay,
before our time.
okay, I mean, I looked, I didn't see anything since 2015,
Well, you saw an LNO.
from 2015, but that's for one,
What does that matter? Oh, this was for one of the storefronts. Okay, I mean, the occupancy is can still be under 75, so I mean.
I wouldn't think, yeah, I just, it's something that I,
Yeah, no,
That's-
it's a fair point, and you're right to raise it.
no,
Because
okay, so
we're gonna have to get an LNO,
Okay.
we're gonna have to get a revised
Okay.
LNO, there's no CM.
okay, so I'll
But that's,
get them, and there's also a stop work order.
we're not in the space yet, so
That,
none of
yeah,
that is.
but for some sort of,
Discovered interior alterations on first floor.
so there's that too. Okay, and then I'm just going to raise the question of the hours, because the last place was a quiet little omakase place that closed at 11 o'clock. The concept is not, a reservation only omakase place. It's a different thing. And it's not closing at 11 o'clock on a little Cornelia Street and
It's not.
residential.
We were certainly interested in coming to this meeting to see what the feedback on the hours would be. We did our best on outreach. We wanted to see what members of the public were here, sit down, hear what they have to say, come back to the podium, having heard that and see, but, so I'd like to reserve that until we see if anyone from the
So
public.
that's it for my questions. Does anybody else from the committee have anything before I go to the public? Katie?
Actually, I have several. It's a very juicy application. Okay, so, and what are we saying about private parties?
We are saying, one moment. We are saying,
We are saying yes, but we don't know how many.
well, no, it's in the establishment questionnaire. It's
Oh, okay, thank you.
the operation part of it. No, that's interesting. I was thinking the same. Or just think the lead thing. Yeah, we not, we answered no in the SLA application.
And yes on our application.
Well, and the SLA one's right and ours to you.
Okay, so
Sorry,
that's not-
it's no.
Okay.
Bias.
And looking at the plans, I see 2 windows at the back of the restaurant, one in the bathroom. I think these are windows. Do they open?
Can we come over to you and look and see what?
Sure.
We're done.
Are these windows?
Yes.
And do they open?
Oh.
So they're gonna stay closed because noise in the back is the problem? Okay, and,
Yeah. You may know.
Yeah.
okay,
She wants to know if they can be. They can be, do we promise or not? The visa one cannot be open. Restaurants.
Katie, share your, they need a microphone.
okay, yeah, sorry.
That's okay, we'll come back over here. She wants to know if we would promise to not.
The windows in the back will stay closed.
Those windows in the back are capable of being open, and we are, in terms of your approval, if you would support the application, we would agree to keep them closed.
And how do you get to the basement?
There's a, cellar.
So, yeah, there's the door from the right side, so we have to go out. That's right. There's
So
no
there's a
connection.
door on the street,
Yes.
Yes, that's sidewalk hatch.
a sidewalk hatch. Are there
Sidewalk
any,
hatch?
and is there a window in the basement? Cause I don't understand what some of these markings are. Is there a window in the basement?
No, there's no meter.
Okay, and is there any access to the to the residential space?
Yeah, it is a traditional old school, only way to access the basement is through the sidewalk hatch, which the liquor authority since 2022 says we're allowed to include as part of the license.
Right, okay, so there's some sort of a door on the plan. So where does that, what is
I don't
happening?
believe these are doors.
Yeah, it looks like it's on the
It's not the doors.
There's an entrance just where the,
These are notches in the wall, they're not doors.
That's not a door? Okay,
I want to look at what you're looking at, but no, there's no door.
This is from the sidewalk hatch down.
up, down at the angle like that, okay. And what's the average check?
I looked at all the 75 to 80. I'm so.
Say it again,
75 to 80.
thank you.
Okay, now we will go to the public. Leslie. Public.
Okay, is that working? Yeah. Okay, I'm Leslie Clark with West Village Residents Association. I've already written to the committee about this application. I'm very happy that one of our major objections was the outdoors, and I'm very happy to know that that's been removed. Actually, this is right next to a bus stop. It has very bad history here. Their shed actually was cantilevered onto cars parked on that street. It was so badly constructed. We were really happy to see it down. By the way, I live on this block, in addition to being part of our catchment area, I live on this block. So I was very happy to see that. That's not part of this application any longer. We thank you for that. We do have a serious objection to the hours. 1 and 2. Now, I had, by the way, for sushi on Jones, on tip. But even if it were the other.
The Stips were 11, just so you know.
I know, but they actually closed. Right. But nevertheless, I understand that. This would be an addition of 17 late night hours on a purely residential block, right? This is a residential block. And to add 17, and actually, to be honest, 24 late night hours, because Sushi on Jones did close at 10, is a huge lift for this neighborhood. We can't, West Village resident could not possibly agree to such an enormous expansion of those hours. And just in anticipation of what is customary for restaurants at this point to say we can't make profit without being open till 1 and 2 in the morning. It's not up to the residents to bear this business model for people who want to make a profit on their late night hours, which is the time when residents in that area want to be sleeping. We can support the previous hours, which were 11, if that was what the stipulations said, but we can't support 1 and 2. This is just an enormous expansion in an area where it's inappropriate. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else here on this application? No. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
I want you to fall down.
Are you representing yourself tonight or West Village residents?
Both. I'm
Thank
East Village residents, but I also, just in this case, I happen to live on the block.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear on that, thank you.
Okay,
And I just want to add that I'm going to rent an apartment for myself, just off of the bar. Because the same landlord, it's take a little bit of planning to leave also there.
Okay.
And I have also very sensitive, sense of sleeping. I cannot sleep on any noise that's, from very soft bits. And we prefer, of course, that we, interested in the there's,
So in that spirit, we were just talking, actually thought the last thing Leslie said, the comments about residents not having to bear is an interesting one, but I don't want to quibble on that, because I appreciate the positive spirit in which most of her commentary was. We're glad to see that the outdoor, the taking away of the outdoors has been met with, has been pleasing. We can't do 11. Our best and final, if we could take it down 1 hour, so we could do midnight instead of 1 AM, and we could do 1 AM instead of 2 AM.
You can't do midnight 7 days a week on this street.
We cannot, that, and just being honest, that's really as low as we could go. We hope we can.
And what about Thursday?
There's what I just said is.
So you're saying you need Thursday to Saturday, 1 o'clock, and Sunday to Wednesday, 12 o'clock.
That's correct.
Okay. Does anybody from the committee have anything else? No? Okay,
Thank you for your time.
thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Okay.
Do you want things or we can?
Put them on your fridge,
Okay. Okay, so everybody that's here should sign in the back, because we have new people in here, so make sure everybody who's come in has signed in. Everybody in the room needs to sign in on the sign-in sheet. If you hear from the public to speak on an application, you should fill out a speaker card. Yeah, so. Okay, the next application is now going to be Penmanship LLC, doing business as Jeffrey's Grocery at 172 Waverly Place. This is an alteration for the dining out NYC open streets. This is item E3.
And there are changes. The number of families.
Do I have, I'm good at this, doesn't have what I asked. for.
Tables are reduced. Tables and chairs reduced from 10, now 10 tables and 48 seats.
It was previously 12. It got
Okay, so
a little bit smaller.
So what I asked, just let me just start this. What I asked to see, so that we could just look at this, was a diagram with. Because this is really difficult, like I said in my email, without having that information. So. What did I say? I said we wanted to see the width of the road, the midline, the emergency lane, and the tables and chairs in the roadway where they're positioned. That's what I wanted to see. That's what we need to see in order to, and I don't see that, Frank, you said I'll have it. When I said, do you want to lay it over? And I don't have that.
I was able to prepare it this afternoon.
Well, I'm just, I mean, I'm not asking anything that's not written.
I showed you something.
Sure, but it would be, I don't know how.
I can follow it up, for 4 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Can you email it? Huh? You can?
I mean, if I have reception, I can email it.
Yeah,
It's a PDF.
yeah, so why don't you email it to me and I'll email it.
So we can look at it right now.
Yeah,
No problem.
yeah, thank you.
You wanna put in? You want it to go?
Airdrop it.
Airdrop it. I don't actually have very much. It's MacDougal something.
Airdrop.
I was just-
Anybody come with anything?
Yeah, work like this, that's. You might need a lot of that.
I don't see. I guess, you might just have, you might have my contact.
Oh, with them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Email it to
I
everybody.
will share it with everyone.
Send pictures.
course, I do have. Did you get it?
Right there, I'm working on. Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna put it.
Okay, all right, that's fine, then we can access it.
You're putting in the drive for
A blue foot. Quite a slow.
Save it first and see. Wait.
It's nothing to see. Okay, so while you're doing that, hours. When do the streets, when does the open street season start? When does the open street season close? What is the hours of operation for the open street and what are the hours of operation? For your premises?
Hi, everybody. My name is Gabriel. It's good to see you again. Good to see you. I'm here for my restaurant, Jeffrey's Grocery, for our open streets. We have been operating open streets for the last 4 years. Our season this year would run from mid-April to early November. We propose to be closed completely on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, to not use the open streets on those days. We have not applied for that. We would only operate it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We propose to operate it from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Thursday and Friday, which would include our lunch and dinner services. And from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday, which would include our brunch and dinner services, was our initial application. Does that answer the question?
That answers the question.
Originally, as was reported, we had 12 tables and 50 seats. It's been reduced to be 10 tables and 48 seats at the maximum, and as few as 34 seats. The difference between 34 and 48 seats is we have tables that can flex. We've got a table for 4 that could be 6. We've got a table for 2 that could be 3. So it can be as few as 34 seats. It could be as much as maxed out at 48. So on the diagram that you should be getting circulated, you'll see 10 tables and it shows it as 34 seats because it's showed as 4 tops and deuces. But those 4 tops could be 6 tops and those deuces could be 3 tops as a maximum.
So it looks like it's 6.5 feet wide, is I think what you've got down on here.
6.8.
6.8 feet, okay. I didn't have one.
I would like to also note that our open streets application is half the size as what we've operated in the previous 4 years. What I mean by that is in the previous 4 years, we have been a part of 2 different corridors because Jeffrey's Grocery is on a corner. We have participated in previous years on the Christopher Street corridor, which includes the duplex, stone wall, kettle of fish, as well as the Waverly corridor, which includes Julius and Morandi and 3 Lives and Van Leeuwen. And we are not participating in the Christopher.
Is
corridor.
that still closing? Was somebody?
I don't know. We told them we didn't want to be a part of it. So
Okay.
I don't know if they're applying.
Okay,
without me.
okay,
But I know that we are not a participant anymore
okay.
in Christopher Street. So from previous years, our footprint has shrunk in half.
Are you the sponsor on Waverly?
No, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, Carter. I'd have to check with my
Just
business partner.
Good, just the reason I bring it up is because we've tried to get everybody to come as once for each open street, so it's all done.
Got
And it just makes it smoother and
Fair.
it's not overly complicated, but it just, and it's running out of time. So if you let the other restaurants know if they want to serve outside, they need to submit this
So
in order to get it all done. This we're coming right up.
certainly,
Yeah.
I'll certainly take that back.
Yeah.
My understanding is that Mirandi has already been approved.
And
Yeah.
but,
So-
yes, Miranda did, and so. But the issue, just so you're aware of it, with Miranda that we pointed out to them, is the SLA guidance. Is that you cannot serve past the midpoint of the road. And they were on the other side, so I said, we don't have any problem with you having the road bed, but you need to move it according to SLA guidance. Next to your restaurant, as opposed to across the street.
So the
That-
emergency lane has to.
So then the emergency lane has to move, which then is. Potentially another problem, so I'm just here looking at your space.
Yeah, I was
For
more
this,
just to.
But I'm just letting you know that in case.
Yeah.
In case when you talk to your businessman, in case you are the sponsor of this, that you're aware of what we went through with Miranda, because it doesn't necessarily say that in the open streets, but it does say that. In the liquor license guide, so say you can't go through the bid, and if
And
you want
I
me to send that to you,
I
I'm happy
believe
to
we
send
are
that to you.
Within the midpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are, they are, that's all I'm saying, that Mike.
They were on the other side of the street, that was the only issue, they have to move to their side. And that changes the way the emergency lane. Would have to curve through, and it wouldn't be.
A straight shot.
Howard, you want to say anything?
I will send it to you. If I-
So that is, you know, I mean, that's what I would like to do.
Okay,
It's
okay, go right ahead.
what I'd like to continue to do, as we've been doing.
I have a question. I have two children in a stroller. So if I come for brunch, where would you park me in this diagram with the stroller? Am I on the outer table?
Specifically, where would I seat you if you wanted to sit in open streets? We have
Yes,
lots of
with the-
places that we could seat you.
But
We have
where does the
sidewalks.
stroller go?
Where
Is
does
what,
the stroller go?
yeah, does it go like into the open seating, the outdoor dining area, or is it?
I mean, I've spent my life, what is your name? I don't.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
I'm Laura.
sorry.
Nice to
Laura.
meet you.
Laura?
Yes.
Hi, Laura. I don't know what you do for a living, but since I've been 17 years old and I'm 45 now, I was a busboy, a waiter, a bar back, and a bartender. My whole life is hospitality. I also have two kids. They've grown out of their strollers. But I mean, what we would do is twist and turn a table and make it work. We
No.
do it all the time is what I'm
Maybe
saying.
you
is you're not the
misunderstood
only
my,
person.
my question. So does the stroller end up in the outdoor dining area? Or is it part of the red area?
No.
It's,
The stroller would be within the green shade. area.
okay, that's what that's
for
what my
sure.
question was.
Of course.
And not on the side.
And not on the
It would be
sidewalk.
in the green shade area.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate it.
Of course.
Anybody else have anything? David?
So underneath here, you say, no, you won't agree for the host stands, bus or service stations will be removed from the sidewalk or the roadbed. And you said you're gonna do what you're currently doing, which we've all, Donna and I have noticed. But I think Donna has something to say about,
I'll send you the guidance, so,
I think we went through this last time, which there's not gonna be any food or dirty plates or any
utensils
food.
or clean plates
utensils
or
anything.
napkins,
But what we do, and you've seen,
Yeah.
yes, our maitre d' podium. Absolutely. Sometimes we pull it out, which is why I checked no, it's because sometimes. we
So
find
it
that
will be-
It's easier for the maitre d's podium and their iPad with their reservation software. To be within our sidewalk cafe. And
so they will be within the dining out green area. They
no,
will not be on our sidewalk.
well, no.
Since this
that's-
is for your open
That's a
street,
fair point.
this
No.
is for your open street application. so
That is,
we're
there would be
addressing your open
nothing in
street.
the open streets. I checked no thinking. I didn't want to be misleading about where the maitre d' podium would be. The maitre d' podium would not be in this green shaded area. The maitre d' podium would be.
Will be in your sidewalk
my sidewalk
area. And and
Like,
within
directly
your
in-
sidewalk area in your
I think you all have seen
front
it.
door, so that
Yeah.
it, and hopefully. If you get a line blocking the sidewalk, you will adjust the podium accordingly so that there's passage on the sidewalk, but you can complain when you walk by and let gate down.
And we'll fix it, like we try to be responsive to everything.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
and were you open at 9 AM on Saturday and Sunday last year? Any
Yes.
orders?
For the last 4 years.
Seems a little early, but I guess no one's complained.
Yeah. And, yeah,
So I just noticed that you also said no as far as, close for bed seating at 10 p.m.
He's not
every
closing
night.
it at 10 p.m. He said he wants to close it at 11 o'clock.
So where do we have that information?
He told it to us when I asked him the hours. He said 9 AM to 11 PM, Saturday and Sunday, and 11 AM to 11 PM
Thursday.
Thursday to Sunday I wrote down, but that should be Thursday and Friday.
Correct. Thursday and Friday, we do not serve breakfast,
Breakfast, just Saturday and Sunday.
just Saturdays. And I'll add one of the reasons that I want to close at 11 PM is consistent with what I said when I was here last time. I believe that by being able to serve until 11 PM, it allows us to take 9 o'clock reservations. And in the summer, when the sun is setting at 8:30, 9 o'clock is an ideal reservation time for us. Most of our diners dine for an hour, 45 minutes to 2 hours. So if we can serve until 11 PM, I'm confident that we can pack up at 11 PM and I can welcome diners at 9. With our small restaurant, we try to get as many seatings. So if we are able to seat the restaurant at 5, then I can get 3 turns. I can get somebody to sit there from 5 to 7, from 7 to 9, and then 9 to 11, and have it cleared out. Now, we don't get a full seating at 9 o'clock, but if I have a half seating at 9 o'clock, that's not a half seating that I'd like to say no to. And also, from a consistency standpoint, it would be consistent with the hours that we now have approved for our sidewalk cafes. So I think it makes it smoother to not have confusion with our hours of operation as they're posted on our website, to our guests and to our neighbors to sit there and be like, wait, this closes at 10:30, but that closes at 11, and they're 10 feet away from each other.
48 people
I would
outside
like
on the
to
I
road.
was gonna say, the way we've done it with the other open streets is everything's off the street at that time. And
Yeah.
however you figure that out.
Yeah.
That's, which generally means everybody's out a little earlier,
And I'm
but it's just
confident
done,
in our
you
ability
know,
to do that.
yeah, that it's just all done, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
but that's another reason why I wanted to say why I'm here asking for 11 is because we have 11 for the sidewalk. And I think. it
The
allows us to
sidewalk
keep
is,
it-
I'm just gonna say one thing, it does keep it consistent, but you've got 48 seats out on the street on a residential block. Below all these people every, Sunday night too.
Can
I
I-
mean, it's so, in my mind, if you started winding down. The open street, which has all the tables and, it's another hour to get all that shut down. Up. On a Sunday night, on a Thursday night, with residents with 48 seats, with residents all over. That's the
Can I-
point I would make, you consider
reflect?
address it.
Back to that, Donna. I mean, we generally have one waiter for every 4 tables. Is the general size of our sections, at most 5 tables. I have enough staff to break down a section. The other thing that I actually, think about the block itself, specifically my corner of Waverly and Christopher, is across the street in one direction is the northern dispensary, which has no residential and it's empty. Across the street in the other direction is a single family home mansion. And that family is across the entirety of our open streets, and they're regulars of our restaurant. And they have never had an issue, and so that's just one family, and they live in a fortress. And then directly above us, the apartment directly above us, she was here at the last meeting. And was just coincidentally here, I didn't even invite her, but she came up and spoke in support of our sidewalk cafe application. So the person who lives directly above and is most impacted does support our application and stood here in front of you guys on the record last time saying so. Across the street in the other direction is one family mansion, and then across the street is a commercial building.
Okay.
So I think the residential impact is actually uniquely small in this zone.
Anybody else keep going?
My question is sort of actually for my committee members, but I'd rather ask it now than when it comes to a vote. So I don't live in this area, so I don't know as well, but obviously on the sidewalk situation, are there lines here? I mean, I'm hearing.
It's a very narrow sidewalk, so I think his sidewalk cafe is barely 3 feet wide.
I think I have
I
7
think-
tables and 14
But
seats.
that's, it's not even so much the number of tables as it is the narrowness of the sidewalk. And so it's one of those situations where the tables and chairs are parallel to the building. I believe they're all 2 tops. And then the perimeter marking, which is a separate conversation that we have had, is right next to the table. And then he does have a planter or 2. I'm not sure if you do it this
I have
location.
fewer
but
planters than I did last time.
So he has a planter or 2, and so then when you also have the host stand that he likes to have there, then if anybody, and it's, his places are very popular, so we tend to get that happening,
Jeffrey's Groceries in its 16th year.
so. There you have it.
Is there a way to avoid sidewalk congestion?
I mean. The way to avoid it is by constantly encouraging people that if we're not seating them right away, what we do is, let me take your name and number, go somewhere else. We.
And then you
discourage-
text or call when it's ready.
Yeah, we discourage them.
And you take them in and get their information quickly, so there's not like a perpetual line on the sidewalk. Okay, thank you.
Well, anybody else?
I should just note for the new members of the committee, in the 16 years of Jefferson, there's never been an SLA issue, I think so.
And, yeah. I'll say this, I'll offer it because I offered it in an email earlier. I'm okay with actually closing earlier on Sunday.
Right.
And we close, actually, our posted hours of operation, if you go to our website, is 10 o'clock on Sunday. So I'm fine with closing at 10 o'clock on Sunday, which is the most residential day of the week of my 4 days of operation, Thursday through Sunday. But it's that extra hour difference makes a difference on Thursday, Friday, Saturday for us.
Oh, great. Thank you.
And we are trying to work with this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said this last time, great glasses.
Oh.
No, the gentleman, you
Don,
too.
Don, yours are nice too.
You too, Don, sorry, it's the red lens.
That's the red.
Yeah, those are, I'm sorry.
He has
All right.
green ones too, no, he's got a green one.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Okay.
Frank, is this your phone?
It is.
I texted you to.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any?
No,
other
we're good.
Questions for me?
No,
Thank you for your
good.
time.
Bye.
Committee.
Thank you. Okay, the next application is going to be Hotel Gansevoort Group LLC and WSA New York Manager LLC, doing business as Gansevoort Hotel, Gansevoort Rooftop, 18 9th Avenue. This is an alteration to add sidewalk seating. Nothing's changed since the last email, correct? No. Then I don't need this more.
That was today.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was confusing, the DOT's measurement to correct, she went out and measured it.
Yeah.
That's it.
You have one after.
Oh, yeah.
You need it?
I know, if I need it, I'll.
I'll accept that. No, we can share, here, go ahead.
Oh.
Give Erica hers, because I have one printed out. So
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's fine, yeah, this is it.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
So basically what happened is I went back and measured and I realized that Kit from the DOT thought there was only 12 feet from the tree bed to my property, there's 14.5 feet. So I didn't realize they're not squares. I thought they were squares and I had only measured in one direction, and then we looked at it from the Google map thing and it was different. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And then last night we were remeasuring, I was like, oh, they're oblong. So So basically, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, I'm Mike Ackenbaum from the Gansport Hotel. WSA New York Manager is the management company that runs all the operations on the property, including the food and beverage, other than Medusa, which is a rented space. So this is basically the same kind of seating that we have, but we had it kind of pushed out with a walking space between our cafe prior. And so if you look at the DOT's approved plan, and I don't know what approved means, I know that Donna was in the seat of an email chain between me and it from the DOT, which said that she had wanted this approval. And it's in process, meaning like there's like a DOT website, and it's like little dots, and you see like it moving through process. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but that is what she has submitted for approval.
This one that we have in front of us.
The one underneath it, the bottom one, the second one. But if you look at the exact same seat counts, but the only.
It's the same thing, it's just
Yeah.
6.5 feet instead of feet. Right?
Yeah, and then
I
there's a couple of, I apologize, What do green lines, we don't have green lines.
Yeah, yeah, sorry.
Which one is that?
No, that's
Yeah,
it.
Donald,
Yeah.
the other one, it's
Yeah,
the other
I don't know
one,
why.
it's the other
This
side.
one?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay,
So the only real difference is.
Oh, got it, okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have, I haven't voted.
We have,
I just-
so-
I figure out. I apologize, but okay.
Check that it's on.
Sorry, guys, it's a lot of paper.
So what's the difference between?
It's just, if you look, you can just see that if you put them right next to each other, it's just like a different spacing, because I wanted to have an entrance near my entry point. And then, similarly here, there's like a little break because you guys mentioned this pole. And we hadn't picked that up, and so we
And-
created additional entryway space for that pole.
So what is DOT telling you about the benches? Anything?
Nothing, it's not, it's also not listed as a thing that requires
Which
a,
if you, well,
there's only one bench, by the way.
well,
The other bench was our bench.
that. Just that.
Yeah, but that faces the other way, and
Well, no, I'm saying that I'm asking what DOT is saying about it, because it's in the furnishing zone. And it's not, I did check the DOT website, and it doesn't specifically list benches, it lists everything except for like a street sign rule. But then when you go someplace else and it mentions the types of things and the rules that are in the furnishing zone, it mentions a bench. So I'm just asking this because it is insane to me that they aren't including this, but I'm asking what they told you and they didn't tell you anything.
you didn't
That's
tell
all
me
I'm
anything
saying.
about it, and we checked, it, so like you didn't, it's not.
Yeah.
true. So,
It's not mentioned
So
on
it's
the,
just public.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just-
but it also just, but also, to be clear, it actually faces away from us, not towards.
Doesn't matter how it faces, nobody can walk through it, that's my point, it's not, it's the same thing as a tree pit or a lamp post. It's an obstruction in the
Before we
furnishing
get to
zone,
that,
but
by what method is the bench installed? It's permanent. I
understand,
but is the city installer, who's involved? I don't know, it might be meatpacking district, I'm not sure.
no,
I really don't know, it's not ours.
it's not the hotels.
But it couldn't have been, because the bid has all those big planters too, so I'm not sure.
It's still an obstruction as their clearances, right?
I would think so, but that's a DOT question, they're telling them it doesn't. Yeah.
Something in there, so
Yeah.
I apologize, so anyway, yeah, so basically, the changes that I made to what seems like was the approved one from the DOT. Are just based on the fact that her measurements were incorrect, so I just wanted to clarify the footages. And then it basically,
So, okay, so you put the opening. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so you put an opening. In front of the bench, which wasn't there on the DOT plan. That didn't have the bench marked, but in other words, on your plan, you're going starting from the north, you're going 1, 2, 3 rows of tables and adding an opening, whereas before you had 5 rows of tables and then had the opening across on the side.
yes,
So then you separated it out for the next 2 tables, and then you have the opening from the tree bread, and then you have those next 3 that stayed the same. And it looks like,
it's the exact same key. It's the exact same seat count as the DOT plan.
no,
It is, it's 26 and 48.
yes, for that part,
Yeah, the other.
for the
one's
part
same.
that we're talking about now.
Yes,
Correct.
and the other one on the right is the same. 26 versus 26.
Oh, because you switched the tables around.
Yeah.
It was just more going.
And then the
right.
yellow one that I have on my thing, that table was where the red thing was, just so you know.
Okay.
It's not an extra table.
Don't.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're not changing what you had on your
Okay.
private property, I don't need anything,
Okay.
we don't need to discuss it.
Okay, we're talking a picture.
It's
on
Stacy.
okay.
No, the benches.
This is gonna be removed, right?
Where is it?
The other one is on, the other one was our bench.
That's your bench.
Yeah, the black one.
The black
Yeah, that was
one.
ours.
Yeah.
Cause that's where we had a big table.
Right.
But that's getting.
That we threw it out, it's gone, and we took everything away over the last couple of days.
I just, can I have one clarifying question? The place where people can walk is not cobbled, is that
Yeah,
correct?
this
It's
space
all
is
big.
not cobbled.
Oh.
This is cobbled.
Yeah, that's all.
I mean, this essentially, I'm just saying essentially what is happening. For a large part of. If you look at these, DOT approved it, but they're making it a 8 foot instead of a 12 foot for a large part of it, because you are blessed with so many trees in front of your space. And that, that's essentially what's happening, but they're telling you you only need 8 feet there, so I'm not arguing with you about this, I'm just
Okay.
making that statement.
Okay.
Because it is what it is, they're letting you just cut it out where the tree pit is. Okay, when are you going to move the
I-
planters here, have you done that? I haven't walked the past 3 days.
90% of it was moved in the last couple of days.
Thank you very much.
And, it just was because it's expensive to have the people movers come down from Connecticut for, so they had also to take the dirt out. It's the project itself.
Oh. Okay. People will be happy. I know, we've had this conversation before, everybody can walk through, but there are a number of people that don't feel they can walk through, so they'll be very happy about that. Hours?
I would like it till midnight because there's literally not a single resident
So
in the neighborhood.
this is what I'm gonna say to you. It used to be 11 o'clock. What we've been giving people, because I based this actually on steps that you had before. So it's 11 o'clock. Sunday to Thursday and 12 o'clock Friday and Saturday. Is that agreeable? Okay. Okay. All right, so now, does anybody have anything on this half of it? Okay, now we'll go to the southern half of it. So that's the WSA Cafe LLC, WSA New York Manager LLC, CNC Coffee and Cocktails. It's the right-hand side of the diagram, if you're looking at it, with Ninth Avenue at the bottom. And 26 seats. Same thing. Yep. Anybody have anything on that? No, okay. Okay,
Thank you guys very much.
thank you.
So the same hours though, what you just said.
Same
Okay,
hours.
okay. 11 and then 12.
Hang on a second. Yes, 11 and 12, but just hang on a second. Let me just see if I. Yeah. Your. The cafe steps say that you close it, exterior cafe. No music and no later than 11 p.m. For the cafe.
Can I submit paperwork?
So you can submit a paperwork to get that, because it doesn't make any sense to have this seats, it's more seats on the sidewalk than actually. On the cafe.
And is it okay if do I have to reappear or is it?
Need to
Sorry.
use the
Is it
microphone.
okay if I don't have to reappear for kind of agreeing this right now?
So. Why don't we have, our committee will have that conversation in the business session, I think
What are
it
you
would,
proposing?
I'm just proposing.
She's right.
That the WSA on the outside seating, I'm not doing anything on the. This private property, the seating in the property line now closes at 11 o'clock, that exterior seating. So you have to extend that on Friday and Saturday to 12 o'clock, so everything's closing at the same time, I can't imagine that this would be a problem, but I will,
Thank you very much. If I need to come back, please let me know.
yes, I will. do
Thank you,
that.
guys. Have a good
Okay,
day.
thanks, bye. Okay. Then the next application is Olio Restaurants, doing business as Olio Pew. This is a reconsideration of their sidewalk cafe. They came to us in June 2025.
Okay, thank you. Donald Bernstein.
Just give me 1 second to get.
Is she working?
Okay.
Still working?
Yeah.
Okay, Donald Bernstein on behalf of the licensee Olio. Let me give you a little bit of background from my point of view and tell you why we are here and back here. And first, thank you to all of you and to you, Donna. If you did not have to hear this again, you've determined this, the SLA has determined this, so we appreciate the opportunity to come back and talk to you about this. Olio is an Italian restaurant that serves full menu pizzas that has been open for about 15 years. Emil Stefkov is the owner. It was his first restaurant, and I'm going to explain to you how his organization has expanded over the past 15 years. The restaurant has been licensed all throughout that time. It has had a sidewalk cafe for all of those years, first approved by DCA and approved by DOT. We filed on time and the date in August that we were required to file, and it operated, has operated continuously. We had to file an alteration application, as all restaurants had to do, to add the new DOT approved seating to the liquor license. We did that, as well as with Boucherie. Emil's company is now called Group, and their two brands now are Olio and Boucherie. So we filed to add the outdoor seating for both Boucherie on 7th Avenue South and Olio on Greenwich Avenue. They went to the State Liquor Authority at the same time. You had objected to both of those for a number of reasons, which I'm sure you're all well familiar with. Hopefully, we don't have to go through all of that history. And the State Liquor Authority granted the application for Boucherie and did not grant the application for Olio. I have been working with Emil since he started. When he first started, it was just me and Emil and his staff for that restaurant. Now you have 17 restaurants. How many nationwide? 15. 16, all right. 16 restaurants nationwide, 7 in New York.
8 in Europe.
Eight in New York. So I'll come back to that in a minute, how this organization has grown and matured over the years. Some of you have been around long enough to remember Emil. Carter, I know, has. I know it has not been easy. He has not been the easiest person to deal with in all respects. We're the first one to say that. I can tell you that firsthand from my own experience, and there have been problems along the way. When he looks for a restaurant, outdoor space is a critical component. You know, Olio, it is got a wide frontage. You go to Grand Boucherie on 56th Street, 53rd. I'm always close, but not quite there. On 53rd Street. Outdoor space is a critical component to what he does, and he does it beautifully. Whether or not the plants extend, another issue, but he does it beautifully. And Olio, this Olio is the flagship Olio, the one on Greenwich Avenue. He has another one that just opened in Bryant Park a short time ago. There's another one that's coming on 3rd Avenue. They're going to be opening the Upper West Side. There are going to be a number of Olios opening in New York, and they are open in other cities as well. Greenwich Avenue is the flagship. It can't do without the Sidewalk Cafe. It can't, but it was denied. We are asking the State Liquor Authority to reconsider that denial, and we will be back before the State Liquor Authority in connection with that. And we thought it would be a good idea to come back to you, let you know that we are doing that, and see if there is any way to get past some uncomfortable history and move forward in a way that will allow us to be able to use this cafe. Now, we have a few options. I'm going to tell you quite honestly. And if the SLA doesn't approve it, we're likely going to take that to court and take an Article 78. This is a critical component to the operation. But we have a few options in the interim. One of them is to close this restaurant because it will not operate without the outdoor seating. And we had a meeting, Donna and Mark and I appeared, met with the borough president, Brad Hoyleman Siegel, who was very engaging, very helpful. And made clear that he doesn't want the restaurant to close. He doesn't think it's in the interest of the community of the restaurant to close. He understands there are trust issues. He understands the community board's concerns. And he also encouraged us to meet, which is another reason why we are coming here. But it's, as we said in that meeting, it's not so much the economics of this particular restaurant. If this place has to close, the school is gonna survive. But they can't have this restaurant without the outdoor seating. So either one option is it closes, jobs are lost, a beautiful place that the community really enjoys is gonna be gone. I don't think that's a good result. Another result is that we just continue using the Sidewalk Cafe just without liquor, which we can do. We have a DOT permit, DOT approved it, we have a permit for 60 sidewalk seats. We also have a permit and a liquor license for the street seating for 17 seats, that's been approved. But we could operate the Sidewalk Cafe with the 60 seats, with the 17 in the street, just without liquor. That's a business decision whether or not that's gonna work, but it's a possibility. The other possibility is to try to come up with some way of, number one, giving you some comfort that this group is not gonna screw up, that it's gonna comply with DOT rules and SLA rules, and possibly even reducing the size and scope of the sidewalk seating. So we come back to that in a minute. And by the way, we've got some support though, you know, a lot of people in the community really love this place and love their restaurants. I'm gonna give you some letters. We have about 30 petition signatures, about 7 or 8 letters of local residents who support this. In fact, maybe you can just pass this out if you want. Yeah. Where was I? Oh, in terms of the group, and Jasmine really gave a great presentation when we met with Brad Bowman and Siegel, and maybe he'll talk a little tonight as well. But, you know, as I mentioned, the group just started out from Emil. Emil Stefkov is the owner. He doesn't spend much time in New York. He lives out of the country. He is still the owner. He is not involved in day-to-day operations. Jasmine is the person who is in charge of day-to-day operations. He is the CEO of the group, so oversees all of the restaurants. Over the last few years, as the group has expanded into Miami, Chicago, Washington as well, Jasmine has spent a lot of time outside of New York and has not devoted as much time to the New York restaurants as he now is doing. So there has been some lapse. But this organization, how many employees do you have other than wait staff? Other than wait staff? Over 30. So they've got departments, they've got groups, whereas there was no real oversight before. There is going forward. With Olio, the big issue, and there have been issues with some of the other places, but we're talking about Olio. With Olio, the issue was that since they opened, they extended the Sidewalk Cafe in front of the flower shop. That was adjoining the space. They shouldn't have done it. They weren't allowed to do it, and it was a mistake. And some things were pointed out to Emil, and he didn't change it right away. No one's gonna dispute that. There were issues in some other places, things were done, should have been done. Can't go back, I can't do anything about that, can only move forward. There was a period of time during COVID, a very short period of time, when you were allowed to do that. You were allowed to go to the adjoining storefront. When COVID ended, whenever that regulation ended, you can no longer do it. They continue to do it. Now, I cannot justify what happened before COVID. It was wrong, shouldn't have happened. After COVID, I do have to say, the regulations were confusing. It was not unusual for operators to continue using adjoining space after COVID. Doesn't make it legal, doesn't make it excusable, just saying it happened, and that could have been considered an honest mistake, whether you think that or not, it happened. Now, in June of last year, when we appeared before you, my partner Ben was here with Jasmine, and that's the first time, and you know, we didn't know that it was extended at that point, still in front of the flower shop. I don't go there, my office doesn't go there, but Jasmine found out that the extension was not permitted. He was told that at this committee. He removed the extension and solved that issue. It has not been extended since June of last year. There were issues with plants extending beyond the property line. All of those things were corrected. So now, here we are with a different person in charge, an entirely new management team who is acutely aware of the problems, of the regulations, of the mistakes that were made, that needs to have the Sidewalk Cafe. So here's what so the question is, what do we do? Now, what do we do? I told you what some of our options are. So let me propose to you what we would propose. And then we can have a discussion and you can decide, but we, we've got to move forward on this in some way or another. How do we make this palatable? One is to try to give you assurance that there is going to be compliance. I don't know how I do that. If Jasmine can convince you, that would be the best. He's the guy. I'm not the one. I'm not doing it. Jasmine and his team are doing it. In terms of the sidewalk cafe itself, here's what we propose. We now are permitted for 77 seats. We've got 60 permitted sidewalk seats with our DOT permit. We actually have the permit. And we have 17 roadbed seats, which is permitted by DOT and by the SLA for liquor service. What we would suggest is that we reduce that number. We would propose that we get rid of the street bed seating entirely. We would remove those 17 seats. And we would limit the sidewalk cafe to 48 seats. So we're going from a total of 77 seats to 48 seats. Now, we can't really go lower than that. Donna had thrown out, and she wasn't agreeing or committing to anything, but she threw out another number when we met in the pre-appointment. It was too low. It's, my best analogy, it's like taking Madison Square Garden and putting 1,000 people there. It's just, you can't have it look empty. It's a big part of this is not the revenue draw from the seats. It's the appearance and how the brand is presented. That's what's critical to us. And their view is they need to have 48 seats to make it look like it's full without encroaching, and they would get rid of it. So you're going from 77 outdoor seats to 48 outdoor seats. We would like an 11 PM close. I think there was a midnight close before. On Boucherie, we had a midnight close and the SLA dropped us down to 10. We'd certainly talk about the hours, but I think before we even get to that, we have to just talk about the other. So that's our proposal.
So let me just be clear on what this proposal is. What this proposal is, according to the diagram, is the exact same setup that you have with DOT. So the footprint is no different than what DOT approved.
Well, the number of tables is.
The footprint of the sidewalk cafe
Yes.
is no different than what DOT approved.
Yes.
And the number of seats actually is more seats than your renewal for your sidewalk cafe. Pre-COVID in 2018, that renewal for the space that you had then was 21 tables and 46 chairs. So you're actually increasing your seating from what you were authorized under the old sidewalk cafe program. And the footprint is almost the same because you had such a wide sidewalk that you could go to 50% of the sidewalk. So it was approximately the same. So what you're asking this committee after. Oh, no, you cannot, no, you cannot interrupt me. I didn't say a word when we heard this whole spiel, so I would like to be able to finish my piece and then you can go and have your piece. So what you're asking us to do essentially is to ignore everything that is laid out and all the submissions that we made to the liquor authority and all the time we spent hearing this and everything else. And basically just say it's go back to operating the way you were operating before, because the footprint is essentially the same as it was in the old one. You're just jamming in more seats to get those 60 seats. It's a couple feet, maybe a foot here or there, but it's not that much bigger. Just because you don't have the service aisle requirements, you are jamming in all these seats in order to have the 60 seats. But what was under the old program was 46 chairs. And by having the same footprint, it is going to be on the community to go into your sidewalk cafe every single day and count the tables and chairs to see if you happen to be complying with the numbers of tables and chairs that you said you were going to have in there, because by having the footprint be exactly the same as you've been approved for with DOT, there's no way for anybody to know how many tables and chairs are in there. There's no way to see if you're minimizing anything. So what I would propose is that you shorten that sidewalk cafe and you have some seating out there so that you don't look empty. I mean, nobody, it doesn't, I think it's a benefit to the community to have you lose the roadbed and move those seats in front of the restaurant. Because nobody wants to see the servers going across a wide sidewalk, and for your business, nobody's even going to see that roadbed on a 24-foot sidewalk. So I mean, all in all, I think that's a nice compromise of the 17 seats in front of your place. Maybe there's a different number between 17 and 48. I have no idea about that, but I just don't understand how we would, the track record is so bad here about not complying. You've been there, Jasmine has been there for 6 years. His job is to run it, whether he's out someplace else or not, that's not the community's responsibility. His job then was to have somebody else there to run it. And it wasn't run properly. And the servers, even after the seating was eliminated in front of the flower shop, the servers were still all outside of the sidewalk cafe serving. They weren't in the sidewalk cafe, they were outside of the sidewalk cafe. Those rules never changed. Now, granted, nobody paid attention to any rules during COVID, but those rules did not change. They were that way before COVID, and they were that way during COVID, and that were that way after COVID. And I know you don't want to rehash this whole thing, but I will just say that our resolution from 2012 about the sidewalk seating 2 years after it opened is exactly the same thing that we have been claiming about recently. It is no different. It is no different. So the trust here, for me, you know, we were at that meeting and you said 48 seats and everything, and I wasn't going to sit there because I didn't have the committee. It wasn't up to me to sit there and negotiate. So I didn't really look at the plan, and then you submitted the plan. The first thing I did is look at the plan and look at the measurements. And how are we supposed to know that you have a client who has a history of pushing the envelope every opportunity they get? I don't understand how we are supposed to monitor if he's not reducing that sidewalk cafe to know how many tables and chairs are in there. And the community is tired of monitoring the operations of this applicant. And this is the only way we will know if they are complying, because there's nothing else. You're not even shrinking the size of the sidewalk cafe. And his word, I'm sorry, is not good enough.
Okay, that was a lot, so I'm trying to. I
Pretty
didn't say
basic.
no.
It's the sidewalk
I
cafe,
know.
it's the same footprint, it's
First of all-
2 more seats than you had in 2018.
So let me address a few points. First of all, no one is disputing that he has done things he shouldn't have done. But to say that he has been a horrendous operator.
I did not just say that.
You
I
said
did
something
not,
worse.
I did
Go
not
ahead,
just
Brad.
say that.
I think you said.
I said
something
the operations of all of these places have been abysmal.
Abysmal, yes.
I did not say that tonight, and I did not say that about Jasmine, so don't put words in my mouth.
You said it about.
You're addressing, well, do you want to read all these submissions?
Let me speak. Okay. let
No,
me-
but I mean, you're going back to a meeting we had with Brad Boyman. This is not, we are having this meeting tonight, and I did not say that
I wanna
tonight,
address-
so we're not going to do that, Don.
Said it at that meeting. This operator has 7 or 8 restaurants in New York. These places have been run very well, with mistakes when it comes to the sidewalk cafes. They are extremely popular. I don't know if any of you have been to Oshikiri or Olio. They are beautiful restaurants. There is tremendous support. You made a comment that the community is sick and tired. The residents are not sick and tired. The community board is. I get it. I understand. I hear you, Donna. Believe me. I understand how you feel, and I understand how other people have felt. But that's not necessarily the broader community. That does not justify errors, and I'm not using that as an excuse. But he has been painted as, and I'm not quoting you as horrible, but he has been painted as a horrible operator for years, and I don't accept that. Mistakes were made. The question is, what do we do going forward? I get it. Now, in terms of the footprint, this is an extremely wide sidewalk. And with that footprint, there is plenty of clearance. And in fact, when the
I'm not talking about, no, you're not going to switch this around to be a different
That's what you're-
conversation. I am not talking about clearance. I didn't mention clearance. I didn't mention clearance. I mentioned how is the community going to know that he's abiding by the rules?
So just to be clear, the liquor authority turned this down.
Absolutely.
Okay, and they did it on character, right?
On what?
On character.
I did not say that.
All right, that was.
And we haven't gotten there.
Alluded to, seemed to be alluded to.
I think
now
I
we're
did
here.
it based upon the
But
violation.
this is a reconsideration, so what's changed? And can we just go back to what has changed?
What's changed?
Because that's what you're ultimately gonna present today.
Correct.
And you're trying to bring some difference. So what is, I mean, look,
Well, so let's.
they were compelled by the submissions to make what happened, make a decision. So I'm just asking. This is all gonna go back, but you're here, so what's changing? And
So
what
what can change?
what is going to sway them to even make
I
a
think
change.
that's the best
So,
question.
you know, and I'm not sure what that is, but I understand the frustration that everybody has. But this is what, it's gonna go back, 3 people are making a decision,
Yes.
so 2 of them need to change their minds, right, or 1.
Yes.
And
One
so,
needs to change.
so
What's gonna change? I think you hit, and that's really what the discussion is to be. So I guess my question for all of us is what can change, right? What can change? They can do away with the sidewalk cafe, we can't do that, you know, as I laid out options before. So one thing that we thought could help was reducing the size. I understand that doesn't address your concerns.
Just to summarize, to Donna saying it actually is, the size is not changing. What she said, and this is
The number of tables is
determination,
changing.
but that's an important distinction, right? Because the DOT doesn't approve table and chair count. They approve a demised area within which to put tables and chairs. The new rule does not limit tables and chairs. They give you a demarked area.
I'd have to go back,
And
you
that's
may be
the
right, I have to go back
difference,
and look. I
whereas
thought I saw the number of
CCA
seats on.
They gave you a license with table and chair count on it. That is no longer the case. So what Donna is saying, what's the difference?
Well, we have
You
the
know,
right,
meaning that, no, I'm just, well,
we have the right to have 60 tables,
Look,
60 seats.
the liquor authority, again, the whole thing was presented, and it's just going back to what's different. It's just, you know, what it is. The chair said it is a dining program. I forget how she characterized it. It's not a standing outside program. It is a dining program. So she's insisted on diagrams, right, with tables and chairs for the outdoor area, and she's been very clear about that, even though it's not required
We don't.
by, is it?
It is required by DOT, but DOT keeps sending us
Right.
plans that
So-
are accurate and complete without any.
So I think that what, it seems to me that bridging this gap is whatever these tables and chairs, that they fit in whatever area that they would normally fit in, not the bigger area. So I'm just, because we seem to be stuck on this, so, you know. And I don't know what the number is, I'm just saying that's what.
Okay, so this proposal was done overnight, like in one day. So it was just reduce the number of tables, but we can easily add 2 feet. We can reduce for 2 feet the footprint. Yes, because there is a lot of clearance, what I see over there, and we can go to 46 seats. But if we reduce more, in that case, the servers will not have enough space to serve all the tables
The
inside.
servers don't, I'm sorry, but the servers do not have any room to serve 60 seats in the setting that you're approved in, so now all of a sudden you're worrying
We are
about the
talking about
servers?
46 now, not
No,
40
but you're,
remaining.
you're trying to make this, you just said that you can't do it because the servers won't have enough room, but you didn't, how are you fitting 60 seats in the other
But
plan?
you would not fit 60 seats, like realistically, we would not fit.
That's not what Donald is saying. Donald is saying that you are bringing your seats down. I'm telling you what your attorney is saying. Your attorney is here making a sales pitch, saying that you are reducing your seats by 12 seats of what you could have in there because you have 60 seats and you are generously going down to 48 to try to make a compromise with the
Yes.
community. And you are saying that you can't have 60 seats because you can't possibly serve the people because there's not enough space. So I'm just trying to figure out which is which, because those are the
See,
things I was just told.
In any way, you can find a way to serve and to fit tables and chairs and size of the tables and everything. You can play with that. You can have custom-made size of the tables. That's not the point. I'm here with a different intention. I'm here to find a solution, and too much we are hearing about email. But here I'm here with Angela Wang. She comes from LDV Hospitality that was mentioned here. She was running HR over there. She is for compliance and HR now in our company. So our whole leadership now comes from the CFO, from Union Square Hospitality Group. The marketing leader comes from Soho Group. She was head of North America. I come from international company, much bigger corporate company. So Now we are not talking about table, we are talking about team of professionals that are running this company and growing this company.
So I just wanna, this is a repeat of exactly what has happened over and over. Because when there was a problem, when I believe Boucherie received their license, everybody was required to go to compliance training again. That was a long time ago.
I'm talking about the team of the
I-
leadership
no, no,
now
but
of the
this- I
company, I'm
understand,
not
but-
talking about what was
But that
happening
was
before.
also a correction of the
Of
same
Emil.
thing. So, you know, at some point. The culture, how do you change that? I mean, and
But that's why I'm
there's,
mentioning all
and
these
as
things.
Donna had said, in the board's submission, there's a sentence in there, it's 13 years of not following any rules. Like. And the liquor authority turned it down.
It's not true that they're not following any rules.
Okay, just
That's-
following
That's the
a
impression.
significant number of rules. So what, I mean, that's like, this is one of the most biggest outlier situations, so
Okay,
I
they,
just have to
they,
say, that when you say they're not responding rules, they've never had a violation for disorderly, they never violated their hours, they never had sale to minor, they never exceeded, had a DJ when they weren't. None of those things they've done. They screwed up on the outdoor season. They made mistakes on the outdoor season. They did
and
what?
that's considered a significant violation. They extended their premises beyond
They-
a regular
They
basis.
screwed up on
And
the
that's,
outdoor season.
and that is one of the rules that is outlined by the liquor authority as a big deal. Is extension of premises.
And we will pay
I'm
that
just,
mistake.
and that,
That's what I'm trying to figure out, is how are you actually paying that mistake?
Because we are allowed to have 77 seats at the moment by DOT. And that was the request.
You're paying, this is how you pay that mistake of, it's not that, you're going back to the same seating that you had. And actually, your 60 seats, as you said, don't work. I mean, your servers are gonna be out.
The roadway seating at all, we are removing. We will not have, which is approved by SLA, which is approved by
What
DOT.
you're doing is you're going back to the seating you had pre-COVID, like, you know, and most other restaurants, you know, I mean, there are a number of, just to be very clear on what's happened with this program. There are a number of restaurants with the change in the sidewalk corridors that have lost seats, that have lost seating outside. Right? You're fortunate enough that you're on a sidewalk that is wide enough that even though your corridor changed, or maybe it even.
Yes,
hasn't
but we
changed,
have
but
many
it's still-
locations that are not on that kind of sidewalk, so we know it. For example, Union Square, we don't allow those seating.
That's for other places that you've opened up on the backs of this community having operated
No, but
illegally.
you're
and-
saying we are lucky that we are on that sidewalk.
You are,
That's right.
that you are
We're
on that
operating
sidewalk,
on
in that
different times.
location, at that location, nothing has changed for your setup, there are a lot of operators around here. That have lost seating, they can't have sidewalk seating anymore because their corridor changed from 8 feet to 10 feet, and they have nothing. So you are actually, the only reason you're able to have 60 seats is because they removed the service aisle requirement, and you are choosing to jam in all the seats, and probably your service would remain outside of your area, because that's what they've been doing the whole time, since even before COVID. That's what they've been doing the whole time, that's what they were doing this summer, that's what they were doing this fall. You didn't have any demarcation you didn't have any demarcation in front of the sidewalk cafe. When you removed the planters in September, you didn't have any demarcation there, so the servers were certainly out in the sidewalk this fall. That's not the rules, the rules were, and you know the rules, and if you don't know the rules, you should have read the rules, because you're managing all these restaurants. The rules say you're supposed to have a demarcation, and what you said at the liquor authority was you were waiting to see if you could put your planters back. For a large organization like you, I would just say, it doesn't cost a fortune to buy stanchions and put ropes in so that you
It's
have
for
a
aesthetics,
defined
not for
sidewalk
money.
area. And so that the service stay within that sidewalk area. It's not all about.
It's not about money, it's about aesthetics, because.
But you
all
wanna
of
know
this-
what aesthetics mean, you have to follow the rules, and a lot of other people have aesthetics too, they haven't had planters all over the place pre-COVID when planters weren't allowed to be in the sidewalk cafes. They abided by the rules, and that's why they don't have the aesthetic that you have, because they actually paid attention to the rules and worked within.
We will have those barriers. We will
So-
have in Boucherie as well.
we're asking to
And we open the sidewalk.
consider a board's position, right? The board voted on it in full, it's unanimous position on the board. And you're asking us to reconsider it. It was affirmed by the liquor authority, you know, our recommendation. So what, like, this is the repeated thing. I mean,
My question is the operator, like, if you're heading, like, obviously you're successful, I commend you for it, but who's the operator of the store is probably the most important. You can have as much compliance training as you want, but like, it doesn't really matter at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. Who's the person in charge?
So the GM who was running that location for years was transferred to a different location last October. Now we have a new GM, new assistant GM, only the chef is the same, but the chef doesn't have anything to do with this management. So we changed the entire location management over there.
And are these guys tied to, like,
These guys are tight and the GM is coming from a big hospitality group, from Gordon Ramsay.
but
So
their
we
pay and bonus structure is tied to like them getting an A at the health
No,
department,
no.
operating within
It's tied to,
compliance.
it's tied for their individual performance, not as per the sales, not as per, you know. We have many complex, bonus structure and metrics, it's not tied to profit.
No, yeah, but that wasn't my question, it was not the profit, it was tied to getting an A with the health department.
Quality, to service, to guest feedback, to, health standards, A at the door, we have like a.
It was pretty clear though that the previous operator and whoever oversaw that, like, is really upset the community board, like, so I suppose Donna's question is, how are you gonna make
I don't
amends?
blame them, the company didn't, in the past, there was no this kind of systems, there was no this kind of team in place, there was no SOPs in place, but now everything is in place because we are growing and we established, we changed the offices, now we are in Midtown, we have many people, we have all the departments. Now we are building business development department because I lost my time with business development 3 years out of New York. But now we are focused on New York, and now we are focused to increase the quality, to increase the standards, to lock the compliance forever, because it's impossible otherwise to operate. And this is the only case in West Village. Why? Because only these locations are the oldest locations, actually. All new locations that are open last 5 years, we have 0 issues. And all the other community boards, they consider us as a good operators. And so this is a case from the past, and that culture that doesn't exist anymore.
Well,
If this culture existed, we cannot operate in 4 different states and under 5 community boards. 3 weeks ago, we got approval for liquor license for new location in East Village, for example.
But it's the same leadership. It's the same leadership, but what's changed?
It's not the same leadership, that's why you mentioned.
That Mr. Bernstein said at one time that nobody tells Emil what to do, so I think, so,
Maybe
you know.
10 years ago, yes.
I just wanna say, I
was true
wanna
back
say
Said
something.
it a couple times.
That was probably true back then.
Katie, go ahead.
I just wanna say one thing. This, you have had these rules, or this agreement since June 2025, is that correct? Is that what it says, here?
That was the first time when I came on.
Reconsideration appeared, you appeared before us in June 2025. So it hasn't even been a year since we last spoke to you. And you have mended ways, but you started here and you have 3 places here that have all had major problems with their outside. And we've had to deal with it, and we had to deal with you and our neighbors. I think it's a little premature to come to us in less than a year. We don't have to.
Yeah.
No, how long have they been operating?
They have not come back to us, to change our minds. The liquor authority agreed with us. And they are trying to have a conversation before they go back and request a reconsideration from the liquor authority. Is that, am I correct in that characterization?
Very
Donald?
shorthanded here.
Is that, am I correct? I just said that they're coming to have a conversation with us prior to asking for reconsideration of the liquor authority. Because they would like something to be different, which is the only reason they would reconsider it, right? And so that's why they're.
So
I
when
am
did
coming
the
here
liquor
to
authority
establish a better relationship with the community, but
When did
first
the
of all.
liquor authority tell you this?
I don't know what-
No, when did the liquor
What
authority,
was the date of the meeting?
January 7th.
no, before, when did they refuse you?
No, Jan, Katie. We
Well,
were
why
there,
did
but
they
just
do
wait one
2025?
second, just wait a second. They were up there at the liquor authority on September 18th was the first time. For this situation, just because we denied the sidewalks and the roadway. At Olio, and they were also there for Greenwich, which is not, okay, so no, in September, it's September, what are we, 5 months? So,
Yeah.
so in September, the liquor, they did not deny them then. What the liquor authority did in September was tell them to get, they had already approved the road bed because that was when the applications were just starting to go through and they didn't reach out to us and that got approved in 32 days or 40 days or something like that, and that before our recommendation was in, so that was done. And then they told them to close at 10, the outside seating. And to remove the planters. In September, and to see if they could comply with the rules. In September. And then they were scheduled, they were put on the agenda, I forget when, and it was laid over. because He had surgery, Jasmine had surgery, so it was laid over, so we were back there in the beginning of January, January 7th. To hear, you know, as the follow-up to seeing if they were complying. And I submitted additional materials and they submitted materials and they did get rid of the planters at all of their places pretty much. And they removed that seating on Gay Street, but we're not talking about that.
Right.
And they got rid of the planters. They didn't put up any ropes and stanchions and the surfers were still out on the sidewalk is my perspective. And then probably Jasmine would know when, but the sidewalk seating goes away because it gets cold and they bring everything inside in November or something like that. So there hasn't been sidewalk seating out there. You know, since that period between
First of
September
November.
and November or something like that.
I think my point stands, we haven't had a lot of time.
We don't have, Donald is going back. For a reconsideration, which he is entitled to do, for the. Thing at the liquor
So,
authority,
so the important part though is that we. Didn't agree with anything. The board's position was to deny the application period.
Exactly.
This is an attempt to find some sort of middle ground. In order to find a resolution, but it's very difficult because. I'm not sure that anybody in the board's position may have changed, right? But they're looking to move forward.
Yeah.
So this is a hard position to put everybody in, but. I think that Donna's point is, well, I don't, this is, how do you set up something that the rules can get followed for some period of
So
time
that we
and
can
go
see if
there?
they follow the rules.
Because what was happening here, especially at this operation. Through time is way too much seating. Way excess, you know, even to the point where you had to walk down this little narrow
Oh, it
thing.
was all.
And so where is some clear setup? That perhaps bridges the gap that maybe not everybody's happy with, that
I mean, I
can
have
find
proposals.
something to go through this. I'm sure doesn't mean everybody here has to totally agree with it, but is there a movement forward? And I think that what we're hearing, but what we're hearing from them is that there's also a separate overlay on top of that. Which is, there's a little bit of business, right, that you have to be able to maintain the business. And so they're saying that there's some sort of, you know, whatever it is, right, you need some whatever metric it is of tables, and so that's where we seem to maybe be. Stuck, because number one is, are people okay with even thinking about this? And then the second part, what is it that would be okay? And how do we get everybody in, or enough of us into that spot? And
Exactly.
so that's a strange place.
You know, I don't disagree with you, but just, I'm saying there's not been a lot of time for us to understand that they're really changed.
Well,
Can I say
there's also though, I will also say that other than having Jasmine swear up and down that everything has changed, there's no way to see, I mean, the best wait, in my mind. To see if they can follow anything, which was why it was proposed putting the seats from the roadbed over into the sidewalk and having it be smaller, which would be tempting to them because they want to expand. Because they're being confined from what they can do. I thought that would be an opportunity for them to have some ambiance outside, have some seating outside. And have it be more limited than it used to be, while the community can see that they can follow that, and then they could come back in a year. For the seating
Which I
that
think
they
was a
are
good suggestion.
entitled to have in their sidewalk cafe.
Which I think was a very good suggestion. I appreciate that. With respect to compliance, let me just add this, and let me just try to move this a little forward towards what can we do, if anything. And I understand Carter's point. You may say, we don't want to do anything. You have the right to say that, but we're trying to get somewhere that's a little better that can keep this place alive. Because I think, but for this, I don't think anybody disputes this is a lovely place and people in the community really like it and they really like the outdoor seating. So one thing is that Jasmine is not as involved in the cities outside of New York and he's focused on New York. When he appeared before you last June and when he first found out that he could not extend the seating to the flower shop, within a pretty short period of time, that was taken down, number one. Number two, when we met at the State Liquor Authority and the planters came up, even though planters are specifically allowed under DOT rules, and these planters may have gone beyond that, I'm not disputing that. The plant, even though we were still allowed to have some planters, the SLA said, no, take them down. They were down within a day. All the plants were down within a day. I think one on Christopher Street was still there, which was right by the door, so I don't think nobody cares about that. But he complied with that, and since then, he hasn't had a lot of time, to your point, because it got cold out after 2 more months. But he has done what he was supposed to do every time he was told. I get that it's a company, but Emil is no longer running the show. Jasmine and his group are. So where can we go? I think there are 2
But
issues.
can I just?
I think there are just 2 issues. Let me try to get to a possible better proposal.
Okay.
One is you gotta have some faith that Jasmine and his team are gonna do the right thing. If you have 0, you have 0, but I think there's something different here. And then you wanna say something about the cafe?
No, can I just put out what I'd like to try to see if we can do, so that we're not just hearing more how good everybody is.
No, I think he's gonna make something more
All right, so
specific.
go ahead.
No,
If you're gonna, no, you're gonna, no, go ahead. I want to see, if he's gonna say something specific, that's great.
We can reduce the footprint for 2 feet and reduce the number of seats to.
So what does that make the footprint?
So instead of 12 foot clearance on the sidewalk, we will have 14.
So that makes your
But you know,
sidewalk,
but
wait, just let me, so that makes your sidewalk cafe 9 feet 7 inches, is that correct?
let's say 10 feet.
But 1 feet 7.
You know why? If we reduce more, we have a small other Thai restaurant next to us, which they are. So it will be like.
Do not even mention anything
No,
about
okay.
the Thai restaurant.
It's not helping the sidewalk, I want to mention, not.
This conversation has nothing to do with the
Okay.
clear path on the sidewalk.
Okay.
If you think this has anything to do with the clear path on the sidewalk, you have not heard anything that's been said. It's nothing to do with the clear path on the sidewalk.
Okay,
Okay, so I'm going to suggest that you reduce the sidewalk cafe down to something more like 8 feet. And go back to the plan that was the plan that you had before and eliminate all these rows of seats. So you end up with about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28 seats and an 8-foot sidewalk cafe.
Oh, I see. Get rid of the.
So what I did was I took this plan from 2012,
So what does that look like?
it looks like that,
Just this.
Yeah. without that,
Which is the same.
which is,
No, I'm just trying to say.
Yeah.
Which would just.
Not these things, just this.
But then we can monitor.
because then I realize it's a reduction in seats, but I think from, now I'm just speaking for me personally. I need to see a reduction and see, this will be very tempting to not abide by. It would be nice to see if you can abide by that. And I realize that that's not what you deserve, but you have not followed the rules, unlike every other operator, for 13 years. And if you want to read the resolutions, I'm telling you, it reads exactly the same way as the ones we're reading now. Go ahead and talk to Justin. Do you want to, no, but we can, you want to take that? Okay, well, how about we just take, no, don't take too long, but, because we have the other.
You're more. You were trying to pause this.
You can pause it. You can pause it.
Okay. So it's 8:56 and we're pausing the meeting and how do I do that? I do. Okay, so it's 9:01 and the meeting is resumed and for some reason the video is different. Go ahead.
So wait for Brian.
We have to wait for Brian.
Okay.
We don't have to pause it, we're just gonna wait.
Wait, and we're just.
Finish your question.
I know your question, but I don't know the answer.
What's the question?
It's a place, John's place at the home. Which,
What's the?
well, it's coming next month.
Okay. Okay. Since we're sitting here not knowing, it can't be that, that's a very somewhat positive sign. Okay. Okay, all right, here we go.
Just ask something, is this 2012 approved because it's more than 40?
It's not, then it went down because there were issues, with it, so if you want, I mean, just so,
Okay, okay.
no, I don't want you to
Because I'm
just take
not
one.
aware of.
This is what I printed out, the renewal, so that was the renewal in 2018. I'm not sure how these, I wasn't on the board then, so I'm not sure, but I know there was some discussion about the seating and things, but that renewal is what says how many tables and chairs there were in 2018.
Okay. So can I suggest something? So, from this plan from 2012, to remove this row, go back like to 9 feet. And we will put barriers here, no server can go even outside.
Right.
And, because like this, only one row next to the windows, it's like you don't have a patio. With
Well, then
no
move this
windows.
row over here. In other words, you're asking me to add more seats than what I just offered you? Is that what you're asking me?
You want to, yes, to keep one row
No.
instead of two.
I mean, I don't know, we'll go to the committee, I'm not doing that, I want this, if you wanna put this row out here. So that you have something next to the sidewalk, you can do that, but I personally feel that this is 28 seats when you have nothing. That, I'm speaking for myself, if you wanna, I mean, talk to the committee, I'm just one person, talk to, sell the
So how
committee.
many seats would you get under what you're saying?
40,
How many?
40, 40.
There's 20.
Between, because of this one row here. Instead of having 4, to have 3 rows. And we don't have the roadway, seating at all. So the service in, because it's difficult to have a roadway seating, I don't like even.
Well, this is
To
what-
operate.
You have 3 rows, isn't this?
Yes, but the footprint much less, we'll go now 9 feet, 2 feet, less footprint.
Yeah. Right, I think. That's our offer, that was, I mean, unless, we have a business session. If you wanna hang out for it and see if the committee all goes with what you're suggesting, you can certainly do that, but I threw out something that I felt like I thought that half of this committee would. Tear my hair off for even saying that,
Magic
so.
of that location is that.
I know, but you wanna know what, if the magic was that important, then you should have abided by the rules for the past 13 years and certainly for the past 3. You had speakers out there, you still had service out there, do not go with me with the speakers, there were speakers out there behind the fans. And you had servers serving the summer from the sidewalk, all of this is irrelevant,
I cannot change the past.
you currently have
The
no.
final step, but you're asking us to take a step. It's a step, and that's a big.
Okay,
That's a very
I'm
important,
fine, because I
No, I'm
really
just
want.
saying, remember what the first thing is. The board has to reconsider its position. We don't even have to take this up, because the board already has a
Of course,
position. So the first step for us is this something we're revisiting, is the first question. And then if we revisit it, what would we be suggesting? And I'm just leaving it at that, so that's, right,
Right.
no, right, but I'm just saying, so there's a couple of steps for us to take. So that's where I think Donna is putting forward something. It's a step, and I don't know.
And I really
everybody wants to
appreciate
move in
that
that
step,
direction. That step, but it's a
First of
step.
And I want to apologize in the name of the company, I don't know what's going on for certain years. The name of the company, not.
I'm
sorry.
These.
I also-
With
And just to be clear, I think
Everyone
there's
is upset.
something that's important here, is so.
I'm 25 years, I think we still.
That's the thing.
That everybody
in a
can
different
see.
companies, I don't want my name.
And that's a really
With the.
important part of this, there's no, and Donna and I stood out there once after one of our meetings, watching the staff setting up all this stuff, you know, and.
I'm really, I appreciate.
I think, so for Carter's point, he doesn't have, I mean, we have to decide what.
No, but I want him to let you know if he can make a
But
decision.
I'm really appreciative for
If he
this,
decide that now, and if he doesn't want to decide that now, you can let me know.
yes, yes, and I'm very appreciative of this.
We would do that, we would agree.
This step,
Would agree,
because it
he
will allow
would
us
agree for the
to
8
show.
feet and the 28 and roadbed
Limited
to
to
8 feet and those
put a
seats.
barrier, have the service within the barrier.
Yes.
You could put the planters, whatever kind of barrier,
Have to be within the.
it has to be within there, but is it, I'm just going to. Okay. I was gonna say if they're having, any planters have to be within the barrier or the planters have to be the barrier, like
Right.
not pots and not pots. Yeah.
I think you have, pots as a barrier. You can have planters as a barrier.
You can, but I'm just gonna say something, Donald, that gets,
We will do barriers.
You have to measure it.
yeah, you gotta measure it and make sure it stays that way, and what everybody else does is.
And just so you know, if you do agree with this, and come to an agreement, what. Brad,
Here, just do me one
Yeah,
favor and just use
Brad
it.
Hoyleman said is if we do that and we don't abide, he's going to the chair of the state liquor authority. And pull our license, so
Right.
whatever, you know, he is supportive of us trying to make a deal, he'd rather it stay open, but he. Understands that there are issues that you have, that are legitimate issues, and he read the right.
But I also just want to,
We need our.
I want to point out something is that all of our other elected officials, including our state elected officials, sent and communicated with them with respect to Oshikiri,
Yes.
and they were totally ignored. So I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
just so,
and generally our elected all work together. So I know there may have been conversations with one, but that's something that they had direct experience, not so pleased about, right? You know, and then.
Support this, we haven't.
Yeah,
Not yet, but we do support.
I'm just saying though, that their experience in trying to work with the local person, you know, in the community on a very reasonable request, which was. Make some space on the sidewalk during whatever activities were happening, and they didn't do it, and that's not.
Let's look to the future.
right. Okay,
Yes,
all right.
and
so-
most important, we will have opportunity
I'm happy
to
to
show.
show. It's been an
how we
inordinate amount of time on this week. I would like to end this part of the meeting now because
Let us know, but
we will let you know and thank you. Okay.
Could I
you
just
wanna
say
take
one
one more
more thing?
Donna to say
Donna, I just wanna say one more thing. The reason that you Donna's saying this is so that we can monitor it, so that we can know you're doing a good job, so that we can support you if you do a good
And
job.
we will have a chance,
Yes, and so Donna has,
and I really
listen
appreciate
to
it.
her.
I have
Oh,
a
the
question.
closing is 10 o'clock of the sidewalk. They're not doing 11 o'clock. That's what the liquor authority did. Even the one who voted for you said 10 o'clock.
So
The entire neighborhood
does this
is
go
until
into
people.
effect for tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah, right, so we're good.
Okay, we're good.
Thank you.
Okay, do we need to break? Erica, before? Really? Okay, all right.
Can we start some?
Yeah, can we start the business session so Gabe can at least get out?
Just before that, are there any other items that you need to?
Any business?
Say that.
Yes, okay, so Airmail 546 Hudson Street LLC, that was the corporate change that I have assigned, STIPs for, so that's just a corporate change. and everything is the same, the new person signed the steps. And then St LLC at 3596 Sixth Avenue, that's a re-notification for their, dining at NYC-Sidewalk, they came to us, in February 2025, I put the information just late afternoon today in the drive, so you can redo it, but we already have signed steps on that, so. There's nothing, and that's it. And then, that's it. Okay,
Wait, no, hold on, we're gonna vote on.
we're gonna vote on Dave. Okay. No, wait, trust me, the bathroom is like a mile down the hall. Okay, okay, so, so with all of this, I have, oh, because it's in the drop. So Gabe has his open street, seating on Waverly Place. And it is operating on Thursdays to Sundays. It is not operating Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's operating from 11 AM to 11 PM Thursday and Friday, 9 AM to 11 PM on Saturday, and 9 AM to Gabe offered to close at 10 PM on Sunday. Yes, 10 tables and 48 seats. And the season runs from mid-April to early November.
We need to make any,
You need to use your money. I guess you also have to use money. I'm sorry, yeah.
do we need to make any comment about, the emergency lane?
No, because that's all in the, no, because
Okay,
that's,
just making sure.
all I care about is, this application in front of him, whoever it is that's managing the street has to deal with all that with DOT.
Okay, that's.
Morandi has Morandi stips say that they had to move their thing and guidance with the liquor authority guidance, and he's on the right side of the road. So he doesn't have to do anything, and whatever works with those other streets is not our issue. So are we
That's fine.
denying less on this?
Yes.
Okay, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Okay, denying less. That means, Gabe, that you will, you'll get like the typical, the same sort of the stipulations that you don't like to sign. Sorry, but it only, well, because I was gonna say the same ones for the sidewalk, but that didn't happen, so. So we'll send you stipulations, it really only has to do with the seating, so it just, it will, I think it will say no host stands and stuff in the roadway. But you're not having it there, so that's not gonna be an issue, and it will just list these hours, no TVs, no recordings. I mean, I don't think there's any, I don't foresee there's anything that's an issue. If there is,
I don't think there will be.
have Frank call me, but I don't, or email me, but I just don't see what I've missed that would be an issue.
Thank you all.
So, yeah, thanks for hanging out.
Thank you for encouraging no loitering.
I mean, that part's easy. The harder part is
One would
like,
think.
yeah. We're planning on hard things to run around. That part ain't it.
Okay, Erica, you can.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Shall we pause for a minute?
I'm gonna be so fast.
Right. Okay. All right, so we're in our business session. So we did, so wait, how many of us are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we started with we did the deny unless for Jeffries, so Penmanship. Okay, so the next one is Orovo at 668 Greenwich. And, one was 9 tables, 27 seats, 7 AM to 12 AM, background music, no outdoor, wine bar and a cafe. They might sell tickets for some little one easy things or something. So, it's a previously unlicensed location. We didn't get any feedback.
It's already soundproof, they said.
He said there's stuff on the ceiling and things.
Is it in that building?
It's in the building, it's in the archive building.
Yeah. It has stairs inside, that's why they have to. You have to walk up.
Right.
About 7 minutes here, so that's why you have to go through a lot.
And I asked them to get it, to look into a, let them know
Yeah,
exactly
you asked?
for that storefront, because they just had something that says 200 and something people.
Yeah, 261.
Yeah, and that is what it says on the certificate of occupancy, but it's the whole first floor, so are we denying less on that?
Yeah.
Okay, now, or what's the six, yeah.
Seems right by the school.
Yeah,
Where's the street? Be across the
Yeah.
street with the lights.
one,
Which would be.
Here, got it.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Are we gonna say that there's an empty swimming pool?
I can put it in the reso, I'll just try to do numbers to do that reso entrance to gym, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, next one
Oshikiri,
is the, yeah, Oshikiri, and
nothing else.
she's basically taking over. Nothing outside, she was the manager there. 39 seats, closes at 10:30 Monday to Thursday, 11:30 Friday and Saturday, no TV, background music. And I think that's it, restaurant one, are we okay?
Are you here for that part?
Yes, part of us here for that. Then the next one is the 14 group.
Right.
They're doing this, I mean, I do think it sounds like they, you know, the trace thing was an evolution. I mean, originally it was the Midtown guys that had the barbecue steak place or whatever it was, and then the construction delays and some finance things, so they got sort of screwed, I think, with all of that, and then brought in the Dre's thing, and everybody's trying to get something to vote that they didn't have a plan to start with. This one sounds like they know what they're getting into and have a plan, and it's a new group, and I think, I'm just going to say that I was a little disappointed in the residents, because I was copied on the emails that they sent out about having the Zoom call, and I emailed the resident, Stephanie, because she's the connector, and I said, here's the email in case you are not on the list, they're doing the Zoom thing. If this Zoom time is not convenient for you, get in touch with them and ask them to do another thing. I started this like early last week. And then all of a sudden, you know, yesterday, there's like, I'm just hoping that they do this. I said, talk to them. You have to talk to them. Huh?
It said on the thing, there's one person.
I think that, yeah, there were three. So there was Kate Bostic, who's from James Street. And she let me know she was on, she's like, I was the only one there, and then the two people from the beatbox place, the karaoke place next door that opened, it's very nice, I went in to check, I don't do karaoke, but I did walk in to check it out, and it.
No, you karaoke,
No, I don't. And yeah, right, you're right.
This space is an interesting space, because I think it's been dialed back.
Yeah, I think
the
so
problem
too,
is they
that,
haven't fixed it.
right,
And they have to fix the space.
that's,
These people have an idea.
Well,
but it's
that's not
still,
my point.
yeah.
Is that the space has to be fixed, and then they can do
do whatever they want, I mean, as long as it's.
It
As
just
long as
needs
the
to be fixed.
sidewalk's not blocked and nobody hears
Yeah.
it, it's been, I don't think anybody in the community has a problem with it being a public, that's what it needs to be, they just don't wanna hear it, and they don't wanna have to walk through lines on the outside, that's it.
And there's something in the back that has never been fixed, because I think that they have to take off a foot or two and just put in a whole new
Yeah.
soundproof wall.
Yeah.
And whatever the condition is that, but if they do that, they can.
No,
It's-
and I will say, all those residents, that's all they care about, they don't care what it is. They
There's
just don't wanna
something
hear
that's, the sound
No,
goes
so-
through the back,
Well,
like
they asked,
however it's designed.
they
And
wanted contact with them.
it. They have it, they've emailed each other, so.
And did they say that they were going to do this on the back?
No, but what I did say was that they will do a sound test with the residents, and I'll put that in the
Yeah.
stip that they do a sound test, with the residents.
And I think we should just encourage them to keep it working.
Right.
Do the good. I mean,
Right.
it's just, it looks
This
like
is the time.
they have some really beautiful renderings.
Yeah,
They have a very
I mean, it
nice
could be a
looking
cool
space,
space.
but once you start doing that, you can't.
I know.
You're not gonna undo.
Right.
So do we
And I
go,
don't, and I'm not, I'm not sure they, you know. at our Tuesday meeting, we had a new sound person that we had.
They have a new sound person too.
Okay, so they.
They have somebody from Jersey City or
So,
something.
so
who works with them.
what it is you just need a builder who follows steps.
Yeah, they,
And totally does it right, and I think that their sound problems can be
yeah, no, I think.
resolved, but I think they keep working around something
Yeah.
that they think it's okay,
Yeah,
and then they put a loud sound system, and then there's something not
no, they
okay.
have, from what I was reading in the materials, they've got some real professionals
Okay,
in there that
yeah,
have
so
done like
Do
huge
that, I mean,
places and recording places and everything like that, so I think
I
they
think
know.
that's the exchange that they can have patron dancing, and it's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
Oh, yeah.
do the work.
Well, also I had to ask the question. There's a school upstairs, so how do we have a full liquor?
Cause it's not a exclusive use.
And there's a preschool.
Not exclusive.
What does
And
that
it's
mean?
preschool.
It means the building has to be exclusively used as a
If it has
school.
any other crossover use, it's not.
And it's a building.
Yeah,
It's not, it's a
It's just
building,
like
not
if you have a
floor.
church and a ground floor and apartments above, it doesn't count as a church.
But it's all for the preschool.
Yeah, the preschool doesn't count.
Right, oh, yeah.
It's only, it's only.
That's pretty ironic, actually. That's pretty ironic.
But also, they're gone.
The
Yeah,
kids are not there at all.
That's true, they're not there.
They're not there. The place is rocker.
Okay. Then,
Oh, that's denying that.
so we're denying last.
You mentioned patron dancing, and I think that that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
If they.
Do
take
what they
their
have to
steps.
do.
2 a.m. as well, isn't it?
Hmm?
It's in 2 a.m.
2 AM.
I think it's a bad location for a restaurant. Like, there's so many great restaurants in like the West Village. I don't wanna go on 14th and
I
whatever.
know, I know, I think that's
It's the
why
event
it's the event.
space, because not many places that can do
Although,
the
you know,
large, nicer events.
I would say
and
they
that's
get the
the-
reputation going, it's quite well for Eighth Avenue, I mean, you've got you've got a bunch of offices right there, so. You know, but it's.
What?
Up and down, there's only place to do that.
Now it's there.
Oh, now, was.
The Derby, when it was the Derby. I used to go. That was my heyday.
There you
No,
go.
now it's well before you, but I have a friend that her husband is now.
Oh, they're not.
Yes, you're married.
I
Okay.
tried. It's
Okay. Aw. Okay, Mitsuru and Reynolds,
No outdoor dining.
it's
so
nothing,
kind of him.
nothing is changing.
I think the letters of support.
And the letters of support were very good, yeah. Yes. So are we, was there anything, was there something different?
Yeah, that was just the street, like, there's.
No, I
so many
remember that.
issues with the
road bed and we were-
that
Yeah.
just
No sidewalk or
Craziness.
outdoor, yeah, no, I remember that,
And 24 parties.
Yes, that's in the steps,
But
it doesn't matter.
I
mean, it
don't
really
think we
doesn't.
need to limit them in their parties, so it's not a.
Yeah.
I don't know, you started doing it, I try to do it now just to cut everybody else from asking the question, is why I do it, I don't really. The only time I really care about it is if it seems like if you start getting a drift that someplace is gonna be closed more than they're open. You know, or having like, that's when, that's kind of mine. Unless it's-
Think that's good.
But that's, you know, but if they say they're gonna have a lunch party, this is what, that was.
Well, right, exactly, okay, so,
That brings us to gather.
all right, so we're denying less on this one, everybody?
Yes.
Okay, so the next one is Gastronaut. So they came, the big thing with them is the hours.
Yeah.
And they can do Thursday to Saturday, 1 AM, and Sunday to Wednesday, 12 AM.
He did call it a bar.
It's,
The owner himself did. The bar.
I heard that. I live above the bottom.
right, right. So I don't know, what does everybody think?
I'm fine with the others.
You are
What were the final?
12 or 1,
Is that place, the only, the next, in that building, the space next door is ground floor residential? that's just whenever the hours are too late and people live right on the street, that's where I really think be a little cautious, because that somebody who was there, once you put it later, will listen to wait for the car, like,
And it's
and that's a big,
busy around.
yeah, and it's interesting, because I think that Ubers and Lyfts have changed that, and people there would have walked to go get a cab. But with Ubers and Lyfts, they stand out and wait now. And so that's the only thing I think that's.
And across the street, the residents are right on the side.
Yeah, it's just right out front. I just noticed that because there are supposedly 5 apartments on the ground floor and 2 commercial storefronts, so there's either 1 or 2 apartments at the front right there.
Yeah.
But these are the places these are the old buildings that have small little commercial spaces, but it's almost all residential, so.
It might be,
Oh, yeah.
I just think that the one's just a little. And, yeah, but that's just, it's unique to that spot, right?
It was 11 o'clock before the little Casse place, and so that kind of fits.
and it was Westville before that.
It was Westville.
This is the Sushi and Jones, right?
Yeah.
They were also
Double
quick
space.
turnover. They did,
Yeah, you're
they
right.
did their model was
An
a
hour,
fixed price or whatever, yeah.
For an hour, I
and
read that in something, I think it says it in the
It's
stats or
just,
something.
it's just hard for me to.
Last time, yeah.
Do you think, Porter, Donna should ask for pros and cons?
I'm just saying that's.
I mean, that's what
right.
I sort of
people live right there.
thought I tried to do, and they said this was what they could do, I can go back
Best
to
in
that.
finance.
Right,
Go back open.
okay, so are we deny unless they agree to 12 o'clock?
Yeah, it's.
Erica?
Residential street.
Sure, the residential ground floor gun.
Okay, oh, there we go. Okay,
Yeah, that's it.
so is everybody, are we unanimous on this? Okay. Ground floor, so it's 12 or deny. Okay. The next one. Gansevoort Hotel, but then the other one. Hotel Gansevoort and.
This was really a greatest hits meeting. Gansevoort, Olio, Gabe.
I think,
What a first meeting.
I think I said to even, can I call in 6? That's what.
I mean, this seems okay, but.
I'll tell you,
substantial.
no,
You get
no,
them.
no,
It's
I'm
like-
just gonna tell you something, there is nothing about this that is okay, no.
But I agree.
I mean, there is nothing about it that's okay, but if, you know, we are the liquor licensing committee, we are not the outdoor dining committee that is haggling about the seats.
Oh, right.
And
That's-
so,
So the point, right, is this is supposed to be a 12-foot
this is
quarter?
the 12 foot.
And it's
quarter,
turned into an 8-foot
This is
quarter.
turned into an 8 foot quarter
because
because
of
they're
this-
doing an 8 foot
these
radius.
trees.
But my
Everything
understanding,
is the bench there. is it?
oh, the bench is crazy, I'll find out a bit about that, but, no, but, because I think if you bring that to DOT, that is like, that's bigger than the street lamp, and they're not calling it, I mean, this is ridiculous. Because what DOT, my understanding of what DOT was doing from some email a long time ago, was like, if, let's just say we're just dealing with this, right? If the tree pit is here and not parallel to your sidewalk cafe, then they were doing an 8 foot radius. But when the tree pit is directly in front of your sidewalk cafe, then it's 12 feet. And now what DOT has done with this diagram is cut out the sidewalk cafe in front of the tree pit. So it's just not, which is just, I'm sorry, but that's just.
But also, let's just back up though, because the creation of this space is also over a former industrial area.
Right.
Where they widened it and they put in trees where trees wouldn't have been in place.
Right.
But the consequence of putting the trees in is that you suddenly,
Right.
it's not done in a way it's normally done in other neighborhoods, so you just put them there. And then the rules don't fit, so it's a little strange, it's like a lot of piecing.
I
in,
will say-
But this is where you should have the wide walkway,
Yeah.
because when it's busy.
That's why the pedestrian mobility plan exists. And the pedestrian mobility plan that DOT took is actually less by the pedestrian building plan, this would be 15 feet, not 12 feet. So, you know, I will say. From the emails I get from the community, what everybody cared about was that they get some of the level sidewalk back. Because all of this is cobble stuff. So they don't even know really 8 feet, 12 feet, they're just gonna be happy to have something. To be able to walk on.
Was there anything that we can, I mean, we just okay with this and?
I mean, it's. No, I think it's part of the SLA for me, I mean, I would bring this to DOT and say what the, and what my, and if they take this back. Then he just, you know, our SIP say we comply with the rules. So if the rules go reduce his seating.
Well, and then I
Or
think the other
something.
thing was just ask him to work with us, like as much as.
No, they're decorative benches, and quite frankly, if the bid wants them, they can move them over to the concrete, just put them in the faucet.
Just
Yeah.
ask him to work with us.
Okay.
And I would have to comment that the whole new parking district is being redesigned, revamped, reconstructed to fit whatever new packing wants. They're doing all kinds of weird things with the streets and the parking spaces and it's just so. You would think that they could put, you know, they put those street pits in there, you know?
They might want that bench there.
They have
I'll tell
to,
them to go argue it out.
I think that they have the power to eliminate the tree
Yeah,
pits.
so I told Jessica you can argue with Michael about that.
Move them out, or move them over to the new curb.
What,
You know,
the trees?
well, if meatpacking wanted to, they could put a new tree pit out at the new curb.
I don't know, the trees are nice, it shades the area when the lights are, okay, so he's closing at 11 and 12.
And we got all
I'm
these.
presuming everybody's fine, if they said, we're fine with this, and then he's going to. Submit a change in method of operation for his seating at the cafe that is within the property line, because that closes at 11, so that can close at 12 o'clock at the same time as this, that makes sense. And it's the same time as everybody else, everybody can give them that. 11 and 12, I think those communities have 10 because that's what they want, so, okay. Good. Let's do that one. Okay, so now. So we're denying less everybody. Great, okay, so now we're to Olio. First of all, I guess the question, if I help me with the proper procedure, if everybody wants to. Reconsider our position on that. It's the first decision we need to make before we can talk about it, are we reconsidering it?
We were forced to turn hour-long reconsideration. I say yes, I would.
You heard it, right?
Yeah, we
So
heard
you
it,
can
so we're-
discuss it,
Right,
so. I don't mind discussing. it.
yeah, okay.
It's actually a great restaurant, in demand. It's in the north.
No, I think, you know, it was, Bob Ely was in here tonight, but I talked to him at one point and he said, you know, figure out, because we don't, and Donald said this, we don't get a lot of complaints about their operation on the inside. We don't get the noise complaints, we don't get ruckus, we don't get screaming, even screaming patrons, we don't get. It's more the other stuff, so. Do we really want them, like, if they were to have to leave, like, do you want somebody else in there? I don't know that we want somebody else in there, we just want them to do what they're supposed to do.
And the problem has just been compliance, but there's a lot of gray area, right? And I just think if there's a step, I just want to back up. One of the things that I'm not sure, I think it was in a meeting with some community groups that Chair Fan had mentioned, you know, the serious violations, right? What do you, there are not a whole lot of them that cause the liquor authority to take action. And she had mentioned, you know, all this things where people are hurt, stabbing, shootings, you know, whatever, underage drinking. Like their books and records, wherever they're buying stuff from. And then one of them was extending their premises and not operating the way they're supposed to, right? But not operating the way they're supposed to is like not quite what we think of, but one of them was extending your premises. Like that was a big deal, because your license is where you can serve alcohol, and if you just go serve it wherever you want,
And
that's a huge deal, and that's what they've been doing at this location for years and years. And they also have done it, as we saw, they don't set up until later, which is when there aren't any DOT people coming out, or, you know, and
And
it's
also
very
they-
generic, and it's sort of just been there.
And they also
So-
close on time.
But what you proposed, I think, is very clear. It's not necessarily forever, but I
To
do
step up
think
from what
that we
I-
should say they shouldn't come back for a
What I
little
threw
bit.
out at Brad Farman.
And just, you
They
know,
have 17 seats with no liquor at the moment on the roadside, so,
Right.
but you're off of this.
and, you know, I think if they're removing that, I think that's a step, and I think that's at least a year of seeing that.
You know, maybe that's what we should say,
What?
because I'm a little concerned coming back to that.
Like a full year though.
I think the liquor authority would also wanna see them do something for a full year. I don't think they, you know, they usually say a year. They usually say come back in a year and see how it goes, come back next January and extend it if you can make it through, you know, this time. And that, you know. I hope that it'll- I don't know that he's sold on this, but I think that Donald,
I'm comfortable, and I've said it publicly, this is a scoff law.
right,
They can't follow a single rule. And and that's just.
and that was
been
clear in
through
our
time.
submissions, I mean,
Been
it's clear.
through
in-
time, but I also understand you have to take a step of just beginning to follow the rules.
Yeah.
But this is sort of a PTSD of repeating,
Yes, yes.
oh, we're gonna do
We'll
this,
see.
just give us that,
We'll
right? And, but this is very easy
That's why,
to see clearly.
Yeah.
That it's okay.
And enough of us walk by and think a lot, it's 30.
no, they have to go back to the liquor authority, right now, they can't, I mean, it's when the roadbed season starts, they can put their roadbed out there, but they can't have any
Yeah.
alcohol outside at that location, so until they go back for the reconsideration. Do they let us know the reconsideration?
It's a general.
Well, no,
you know, you-
but,
When
I don't know where-
I'm sure I'll be there,
When does roadbed start?
April 1st. So, okay, so we're denying less on that, what do I give them stipulations? That,
Well, I think that what
What do I
we're saying,
do?
you know, I don't think you need to
No.
rewrite the whole thing and just say that they came back. They just write.
do I
out
give
what-
them anything?
Yes, they need to.
Sign
a written
something,
Agreement, right?
right,
But I also think that, and I certainly feel this way, I really don't think we should be changing our position, but I understand it's a step. Right,
Right.
and I think that needs to be written in, we're taking a step. To see if. They can follow. The rules, it's not. I'm very reluctant to say it's a punishment, because I don't think that's a right of thinking, it's just, this is all about can you follow the rules.
right.
I heard
They're not taken away.
If they go back to the SLA or maybe likely to one of those two, but. like-
If
Oh, no,
they'll
they'll-
go back
they
to
come and they
this
say they-
deal.
No, no, if we don't give them,
Oh.
they're likely to win.
You know, I'll tell you,
No.
I don't know, because. I mean, I went up there and, you know, we did our submissions and I made the best argument I could make. And I wasn't, I thought that we were right in what we were asking for. But realistically, for the liquor authority to take away that seating, I mean, that much sidewalk cafe from a restaurant that's well known.
Well, no, but
it was.
that's why I said to Donald, and he made a great point, I said, this was not approved because of character.
Right, right.
Not because of some fault. We didn't say, oh, it's too late, or it's like this or that, so there wasn't.
No,
Something for them to
I
put
think she
conditions
said
on
that.
the license.
Sure, Ben.
It was just like, can you run it or not? And there's a demonstrated history, just emails, pictures, everything, you know, even
Resolution after resolution.
even there are comments that the chairman made that she said, I live in that community and I've seen it. You know, I mean, it's.
Chair Sandless?
Yeah, no, you're enough.
Used to be on the.
Should ask them to send you their new setup when they get it.
Oh, yeah,
There's a
yeah.
picture of it,
Yeah.
and tell them that we'll be passing by.
Or update their diagram.
And the reason that. We like this configuration is because we can
You
monitor.
just walk by
even-
it. I mean, sure, if he fits another 2 chairs in there, we're not gonna know, but he's not fitting 60 chairs in there.
No, you can't, you just take a picture and it's obvious, like, this is the easiest thing, you know, somebody takes a picture on a review, boom, there's only one setup, it's just, it's like, no.
Yeah.
Nothing, it's
Yeah.
very straightforward.
You're right, they're gonna be tempted to.
No, that's,
So
well, that's why I think it's a, okay, so deny less,
Yeah.
any new business?
Yeah.
And everybody's okay with the ones that we waived, airmail denying less,
Yeah.
Song denying less?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, welcome new members.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, you,
Isn't it fun?
Isn't it fun?
You having fun yet?
I thought